Hello Ben, nice to see you again, mate. I'm not too bad, mate. Apart from a bit red, I've been in the sun today. I've been in the sun for about 3 or 4 hours, doing trekking, walking. I'm a bit burnt at the sides, everywhere. Oh, that's I'm all right. You know, how about yourself? You still doing your trip between around England, you know, and that sort of thing. You know, your sort of vacation or something. I also, yeah, same. I know it's a bit. I don't know. I don't wear sun. I never wore sun cream actually, so that's my fault. It's happened a few times anyway. I actually haven't been burned since last year actually, so yeah, that's a fun little story. But what I was doing was I was walking around my hometown actually for about 3 or 4 hours because my car was in service. It's been checked over and everything else, like if it was working, everything else, if I need to change or whatever, that sort of thing really. Like last week, I will be alternating. That's absolutely fine. If you need to, that's absolutely fine. Oh, yeah. So I've been walking around for about 3-4 hours and just burned. Arms were fine. It's made my face really. It's all red around here. I came back from my break a few days ago. However, I went back to England on a day trip today. Good for you, sir. I wish you had a nice time. As long as the weather was okay for you around here. Scorching here. It was bloody scorching around here. Hot. Very hot. Whew. Christ. You know, sweat bucket loads and all sorts. Christ. It's one of them things, really. That's interesting. I think I'll be going to town tomorrow anyway. Well, I get my car in a minute because someone's doing tyres out. But I will be doing whatever. Maybe it's more vinyl. Actually, speaking of which, I've got to put them down actually. I've got a couple more vinyl, so I might bring them down. Back in 1 sec. Oh, right. That's fine. That's all right. My copy of Coonskin did arrive. It does an English soundtrack, but the menu is a bit shit because even when you select English on the menu, it still plays German. It plays in German. Oh, okay. You have to use the language button on your remote to select the English. Oh, really? Oh, never knew. That's a bit of a bad copy anyway. Seems unfortunate. So, all I've got here is a couple of I've got these maybe a couple of days, I think a few days ago, I think, actually, and thought, it's been a while. I don't really tend to buy around as much as I used to, but I just thought, so these are for might as well get them actually. So, first one I got is Frigid Pink, and this is called All Pink Inside. This is from 1974. Back then, inside. These come from my local record store, so they're all in plastic sleeves, whatever. Indeed, so, yep. Also, you may notice the front, it came with a free single. This does. It's a different one actually because it's not to do with, well, it's to do with band, but it's released for a different year. Actually, I think this came out in 1970 actually, if I'm mistaken. It's 2 covers actually on here. So, one side you've got Heartbreak Hotel, and on the other side you've got House of the Rising Sun on that front. So yeah. It's interesting. I haven't listened to them yet, actually, but I saw it in the racks, so I thought, that's an interesting thing. I'll get it, it's only £10 it was. But it was pretty interesting of a band I'd actually never heard of, which is pretty good. And the other one I was quite surprised to see this actually within the racks. It's what I'm going to have this. £30 anyway, but it was interesting to find it. It's this. This is Pink Floyd, A Nice Pair. Contains The Pipe at the Gates of Dawn and A Saucer Full of Secrets, the first two studio albums of Pink Floyd, from 1967 and 1968. I'm not too sure what year, I think early 70s this was released. It's Hypnosis cover and everything. And back's there as well, if you could see. Sorry, but the camera, if I can. Because again, a bit of music around here anyway, so obviously I don't know riff onto A Nice Pair very much. Excuse me, I hope I don't get this gets taken down the stream, but I don't think it will actually. Who knows? There's more in here as well. Do a picture of the band. Anything else? And also, just to point out, the inner sleeves themselves. Could probably find that if I can. I can get it out. So that's the inner sleeves look like. So you've got Foster Off and Pipe That Gets Dawn. Flip side, you've got Source Full of Secrets. This is Source Full of Secrets anyway. So the albums that featured Sid Barrett and the arrival of David Gilmour as well. So late 60s, good albums they are. Put this back in. I'll put it back in sometimes because how hold it. Indeed, but Christ almighty. The sleeves are a bit big on that one. So that's that one. Speaking of Pink Floyd, I did get Playing for the Wall last week. I still yet to watch it. It's an interesting film, I have to say. Obviously, it's straight out on Parker, so it's it might be interesting as well to watch actually on the watch list. I remember seeing it and I remember thinking, that's interesting. It's all right, really. I'd probably say it's not one of my favourite films of Parker's, really. Depends on the behind the scenes stuff. Again, with Roger Waters, Gerald Scarfe, everything else included on there. But soundtrack, it's probably interesting. Also, Bob Geldof's in it, but I think he doesn't speak as much. It's like a silent role. Bob Hoskins is in it though, which is probably is a plus. So then maybe I don't know. I'm sort of half and half on that film. So we'll see. It might be an interesting experience. But you might have to drink a bottle or something just to get that, like an acid trip or something like that. Who knows? Might be a bit trippy for you, man. That's all thing. But The Wall, I don't know. The Wall's not one of my favourite Pink Floyd albums. I find it too overrated, really. So I can't really delve into too much about that. I'll just be back in one sec. I'll just put these away. Of course, just in case if I don't tread them on anything else. But absolutely. There's a couple here. All right. Okay. No problem. Yeah. Yep. Oh. Yeah, Bob Hoskins is awesome in anything. It's true, yeah. He's always great, Bob Hoskins. I'm trying to think. Who Framed Roger Rabbit? Probably one of his famous roles, maybe in that Long Good Friday, I would say, is another one. Oh, what do you call that film? Jet Li in. That was another one. What was it? What else was it? I did some voice work. I remember doing a children's show called The Forgotten Toys. That was another one. Yeah, I did a review of that a couple of years ago. I did. Have you ever tried blending Pink Floyd's Dark Side of the Moon with The Wizard of Oz? I don't know. Bloody hell. Blending that to get them two together. Bloody hell. I'd rather not. I'd rather not. Oh my god. Nah. Oh god. Oh god. I hope not, because otherwise people look like they think, that might be something. People might get some weird ideas for doing that. God. Indeed. Oh. I don't think try and blend in Pink Floyd with Wizard of Oz. I don't know. I would say he pretty much wrote his best performance. That's true, yeah. I mean, it does have some of the comedics. I mean, how it was filmed. How it was filmed and everything else is quite interesting, actually. Very, I think they used some cardboard cutouts in terms of trying to strangle the tunes. I think, obviously, give them a clear idea of what to expect really when filming. It's just, it's one of those films that is. I still need to find it. I've been looking for a DVD for a long time, actually. Go ahead and think, I might just check it out in here or look at my local CEX or whatever. Never was around. You can never find that bloody film, whatever. On look at it, even though it's a famous film, great film. You never find it on DVD shelves. It's strange. It's just weird. It is. I probably have to go on eBay and try and track it down because it is a film. I always found that and Last Action Hero sort of are very similar films in a way. They're quite similar in their own worlds, really. Surprisingly, I first watched Wizard of Oz when I was 17. I thought it was fantastic. I think I saw it on television once, years ago, when it was repeated. Can't remember anything much about it, though. That's the thing. Even though it's an all-time classic, and that sort of thing. I don't know. I think I was on put off about it, but by the actress in a sort of intense drug habit or something. That's all. How she was treated or how success so corrupted her, really. When she was being a teenager and stuff. Maybe that's what it is. But I do see as a dual film's been parodied too many times and whatnot. You can never get out of your head. We'll have to see the wizard. Yeah, to go in movie, I prefer Roger Rabbit to Last Action Hero. Indeed, I'm trying to think. Last Action Hero, in a way, is sort of. I didn't really see until maybe when I was broadcasting TV. I used to get a lot of violent films back in the day, quite a lot actually. But I never saw that actually. I never saw that. That's never been on my radar. Last Action Hero, maybe because it was never available in my reach or anything. So I never actually seen it until probably when it was on ITV4, I think, many years ago. I knew about the production healthy. He was in production hell for years, so I went into Wizard of Oz with low expectations. Really, so it's been one of those actually. It's been heavy production, and the end scene where all the two characters, characters in two down sing "Smile Down Your Smile." At least I need to watch that because them two films are obviously in particular I haven't seen for a long time. Danny DeVito played a cartoon cat for some reason. Yeah. Oh God, yeah, he did. Yeah, the voice. Yeah, you've also got the random cameos as well. Like Robert Patrick as the T-1000. I'll give this credit though. Charles Dance, great villain, really great villain. And I think what sells it for me sometimes is interesting. It's I think when Slater goes into the real world, into Danny's world, it's it's sort of, again, it's it's in the thing, but obviously he sees the reality, of course, and it's he tries to carjack a car, which and punches it, saying, now that hurts. It's it's reality is really catch. It's being the real world, it's a totally different ballgame. Also, the whole thing's of him talking flirting with Danny's mother and stuff. It's a bit, and it's quite funny actually. It's oh yeah, well, you two have been up all night, haven't you? Talking. Really underrated. It is definitely underrated. It is. I mean, it is good. It's a very underrated McTiernan film, isn't it? Because you look at his other film. Well, I don't know if you can. Romance is a underrated classic, I don't know. Probably not. You know, well, I think from you got Predator, Die Hard. I mean, Die Hard Revengeance, of course, and Last Action Hero was a good one. I'm not too sure what else he did actually. I'm not too sure John Tiernan actually did elsewhere. You know, but that is quite underrated. It's underrated. It's underrated on the film. There's a lot of cast and stuff that's, you know, again, underrated. Charles Dance is brilliant, of course, as always. You know, there's some really good performances with him. You know, Austin O'Brien. You know, it's just a bit of a bonkers film as well. Like, especially with the cartoon where it's all bonkers, and you know, some of the lines, of course, it's like, you want to be a farmer, here's a couple of acres. That's also very cheesy lines and everything else, like very, against like very cartoon like this, rather than, it's like fully, you know, what was it, like a pretend kick, like a fake kick, it's like, you know, very slowly, and this guy just pops up like up in the air. That sort of thing. Tom Noonan, he was the Ripper. Pretty good actually. I can't recognise him. Think, well, this is before I saw RoboCop 2 actually. I think maybe. When he played Kane. Also, I didn't realise he was the Frankenstein Monster Squad as well. I never knew that as well. So that is interesting. So he's most about prosthetics really, even though he showed his actual face as a menacing force for RoboCop in #2. So yeah, interesting. I'm not sure what films he's been in. I'm pretty sure I've seen a couple of films that he's, you know, appeared in now and again. But who knows? Yeah. I'm just trying to think. Is there any films that you think are considered underrated? Like you saw watch recently, you think, you know, that is underrated. That is like, you know, no one ever talks about these films as they used to, really. I'm interested to know. I'm interested to see. You know. I think Last Time Hitcher would have worked better if it was a hard R. Then you know, it doesn't really work as a PG-13. That's true. Mind you, when we got it, it was 15, wasn't it? So, you know, I mean, it's not R-rated with us, really, but it's a safe 15. It's a very safe one, you know. I think it just depends on the language, really. That sort of thing. Yeah. I don't know if it was maybe intentionally too. It might have been intentional, I think. But who knows? Probably just maybe edited out and stuff like that for like blockbuster some release. You know, but I think, well, he didn't do well. It was Jurassic Park sort of trumped that already. So he left for a bit of a whimper. But there you go. Surprisingly, I think Seed of Chucky is underrated. It's okay, but it's not. It's a comedy, not a horror. Yeah, I think when you come to this and Bride, are sort of the same thing. You know, they have the sort of gruesome moments, of course, indeed, and very interesting stuff they do in terms of rationality and deaths and stuff, and good animatronic work, absolutely. I don't know what the main idea was to make them comedic. No, I don't know really. But the only deal with them two films, so thankfully, although I prefer Bride. Bride's more interesting than Seed, actually. I mean, Seed's, well, actually, I find Seed just like, you know, it's probably good. It's fun, you know, you enjoy the laughs out of it, of course. And, you know, the whole thing with Billy Boyd as his son, like, is he a boy, is he a girl, whatever. Glenn or Glenda, whatever. You know, and he's just complete uptight British, whatever. And these two like two Americans are very much like, I find it quite like, you know, I don't think they actually acknowledge that, don't they? It's like, you know, oh, his son's British or something. Like, you know, hi father. You know, I don't know really. Was it? I don't know. But I think Bride's better. It's quite morbid as well. Bride is weird and something like that. You know, it's interesting stuff. It is. I think Seed sort of does that, but it's a bit more softer, I would say, in a way. And obviously they return back with bloody what do we call that other one? 5 and 7 now. I know it's Curse of Chucky. And what's the one? I lost track now. What was the one? Cult of Chucky, that's it. Curse of Chucky and Cult of Chucky, that's it. I remember now. Yeah, also they're going to remake the thing, of course. Remake this, of course, with Mark Hamill. Interested, and then Brad. You know, I suppose they haven't kept Brad Dourif, but they use Mark Hamill instead. That's weird, strange. It is. I've always been struck down with stuff like that. Really, it's interesting. Who knows? Actually, I think because Mark Hamill's done made different voice acting all the time. Really, of course. You know, like obviously, Fame for Joker, of course. You know, he could probably do like a cartoon just with himself, doing multiple voices. Bradley's a better film, but I think CD's funnier, and its themes of gender identity have become more relevant in recent years. You haven't seen the Mark Hamill film? I think it's on Netflix, actually. I think it's on. I think so. Yeah. I haven't seen it yet either. I've only just know about it, but I haven't bothered seeing it. I don't know, remakes of classics, I just don't really care for it as much. It's like, you know, I've never seen the remake of Evil Dead. I've never seen that one. I've never seen Nightmare on Elm Street. I've never seen that. I'd rather not go near that one. Yeah, I've seen the original 84 one, but I'm not going to go near that 2010 version. I've seen the remake of Friday the 13th 2009, which I don't mind actually. I do think it's a decent remake. I actually don't mind that. Curse and Cult are shit, but they have some unintentionally funny moments. Of course, well, I think with Curse and Cult, they're more going back to the serious dark roots, aren't they? Because I think after the 2 films, of course, I think after seeing it mostly, it's like, you know, I think people are like, you know, well, it's like, you know, well, the series has gone off track now. It's like people are just, you know, having seizures or like falling asleep on the desk or something. It's like, you know, taking a different direction or something, really. And also, I think they're trying to make it like, you know, we should make it back to the original 3 films, really. Make it intentionally scary, a bit more threatening, and a bit of intention to it. And that's what I think that's what Curse did. Try to bring it back to its roots. And I don't know if it succeeded or not, really. I'm not too sure. Cult, I think Cult was trying to wrap up everything else because Alex Vincent was back anyway at that point, wasn't he? Nightmare on Elm Street 84 might be my favourite slasher film. It is a good film. I remember seeing it when I was streaming. Well, I knew about it through a neighbour who used to loan us all my mother DVDs, actually, borrowed them for maybe a week or so. And they had the box set. I think it was the 6 DVD box set of the first 6 films of Nightmare on Elm Street. And I was interested to actually know what was like, really. I never actually delved deeper. I've only seen like the coverage, of course, but I never seen the films, really. But I do actually do one. I do want the first one DVD. I do. The 84 one, of course, absolute classic. A lot of people say their favourite is Child's Play 2, but I think it was contrived because Chucky would have won if he got his arse into gear. Yeah, because it's not pandering, really. I think it's because it's why is it? It's to do with I don't know. It's just like a bit more feeling like he's totally Andy. But also they got the final confrontation with him in the toy factory, don't you? Obviously when he gets his bloody arm ripped off, and that's interesting because with him, I always thought, you know, he's take the body of a doll. It's like, oh, he can just rip his arms off and everything, like, you know, that sort of thing, loosen them up, really. I never expected to see, like, human flesh or something, that blood come out of a doll. That is weird, that is. Like, you know, the factory scene is cool, but a factory like that will be closed in health and safety. True. That is absolute true, that is. But it's just with films, really, that's all become, you know, like, you know, depends on plot, really. It's just a weird thing, really, in a way. I don't know. They want something cool, really, you know. And I like with the bloody fairground in number 3, that thing, and that's weird. I mean, that's like, how does that make sense? It's like some volcano with some stuff and sieves and whatever. It's, how's that? How is that a thing? Primarily because I'm very seen Child's Play 3, to be honest. It's weird. Also, gets his face hacked off halfway through, doesn't he? It's one of them things. My God. Well, at least the first one's alright because it's based around the apartments, isn't it? and then he gets chucked into a fire, doesn't he? You know, and wanders around like a charred corpse. That's good. Oh, funny. Yeah, and you also, I think in Bride, you got that confrontation in the graveyard, don't you? With that bloody, with the bloody newborn attacking a gravedigger or something at the end. You know, it's like that's going to be, that sort of takes it by surprise, doesn't it? The reason Chucky was flesh because he was becoming human. Yeah, because the whole thing of possessing a child, really. You know, but I think I sort of didn't know about it until I seen the film, seen bits of the films really. I always just thought he was like, you know, the best one is the first one because it actually works as a horror film. Yeah, because it's secluded, isn't it? It's, you know, it's about like a child's toy just trying to kill the son, really, or the boy, or possess him. You know that weird possession stuff. It's like, it's more, yeah. But the first one, of course, yeah, because it builds up the mystery, doesn't it? It's like, who is killing these people? Who's throwing them out the bloody window and falling to their deaths? Anything else? And also the look at the thing, and obviously no one's don't expect the bloody doll to do it. Really, it's that sort of thing. I do like that parody though of The Simpsons, of course. You know, when he gets that crusty doll from that bloody, it's like Gremlins when Homer visits that evil store on that Chinese fella. The best scene in the original is when the mum realizes Chucky doesn't have any batteries. Oh yes, I do remember that actually. Yeah, yeah. She realizes he doesn't have batteries. She pokes her finger in his back, and he sort of squeals, doesn't he? He all shakes and squeals, doesn't he? You know, that just tends to make people jump up, doesn't it? Like the jump scare type thing. You know, it's like being electrocuted, isn't it? But like that sort of thing. It's just I think that's how it gives the little things like wait, hang on, some power of batteries like that really. That's but it's like prodding an animal or something, isn't it? Pretty good. But I was going back to that parody, wasn't I? One Treehouse Horror parody sketches, wasn't it? Segments. Homer visit the Chinese man, of course, and then there's that crusty though, isn't he? What was it? Anyway, just be careful, it's evil or something else. But you get a free cup of Froget. What was it? How does it go? I'm trying to think because it's been talked about many times, of course. Like even one thing to remember on The Simpsons, but Froget, that sort of thing. It's like you get extra toppings. Is that good? The toppings are cursed. Why? She removes the battery cover from Chucky. Does a 380 and spins his head, saying, "Ah, that's it." I always thought. Yeah, he probably comes to life when she threatens to chuck him in the fire. Ah, right. I always thought like when she inserts the batteries, I always thought like he'll probably just screamed or something, like screamed or something else, or jump very much and walk, scurries away or something like that out of the mum's hands or something. I never really knew that actually, but there we go. I think it's been. I never actually really, well, to be fair, I've only seen tiny little bits with Charles Play. At the end of when he gets into a fire, absolutely, but I've never seen it as a whole. I might do it at some point, maybe. Who knows? We'll see. It might be on Netflix. I might give it a little watch. We'll see. Probably, maybe. I think it is on Netflix. I don't know if it's the remake or the original. I'm not too sure. But it seems like that's from 1988. It's again, pretty good, decent. It's a decent film. It is absolutely. Speaking of which, actually, because of groundbreaking stuff in the late 80s, very much like from the late 80s, what do you think of Hellraiser? What do you think of Clive Barker's 1987 classic, Hellraiser, based on the novella The Hellbound Heart from 1986? Not 86, the film, 87, the film. 87 is the film, the book is from 1986, it is. But it's adapted from his novella, yes. I find it There's a lot of interesting stuff with it, actually. I always find it's a groundbreaking film in terms of its designs. It feels 88. It was really a satire on 80s toy commercialism. Probably. Who knows? I don't know if Demonic Toys did a similar thing, really, but no, I don't think it's like, I think it's like, you know, that's weird. Never seen horrors, I don't really need to. Ooh, I can give you some context, mate. I can give some context on Hellraiser. Because I do I've actually, it's one of those films I've actually owned on different formats over the years. Because I first knew about VHS, because of my mother. She owned it for a long time, still have it. Got DVD of it as well. Then I recently got the Blu-ray, I think this year, along with Hellraiser 2 as well, the Arrow video Blu-rays. British film. It's a fantastic film. I found out recently, courtesy of Richard Jackson and Duncan Casey on Velvet Broadcasting, they did a live watch of it. They did. Well, live commentary, whatever, watch party they call it. And Jackson brought up this thing like, you know, it's to do, I think, to bring it bluntly, it's to do with the perspective of a gay man, apparently. I don't know if Clive Barker's gay or not. I don't really know. Is he homosexual? I'm not too sure. But apparently it's to do with the whole thing of like, you know, of like to do with bloody sex or something. It's like a metaphor. You know, if you open the box and you find out what is your pleasure, that's what. Well, you open. Let me think. With the laminate configuration, this puzzle box. That's the puzzle box. The laminate configuration is known as. If you open it, you seek desire. You seek what you truly want. In a maybe sexual way, in just like, you know, I don't know. I think that's why it probably is more of a pseudo-sexual type thing, really. And the main thing is, the main sort of theme of it, very strange theme, apparently they say, just know about it, of course, about a couple of days ago, actually, is that it's about the perspective of a man, but it's also like, you know, like being in contact with a woman, if that makes sense. Like you open the box and you encounter people, you desire what you want, really. In terms of a man, that's sort of like, you know, it's a perspective of, you know, of a relationship in a way, or the meeting or the interaction of having intercourse with a woman. It's like, say, you know, the demons and the whole thing with the Cenobites and everything else. It's like, you know, it's weird. I don't know. Yeah, Rob Baker came up with the same conclusion as a BDSM metaphor. True. I mean, because the Cenobites are dressing leather black, you know, and black colour leather and everything else. That never crossed my mind, really. I'm going now. I'll see you next time. Best of luck, Ben. Nice to see you again, mate. Thanks for joining. We'll see you next week. I think Tuesday I'll be going back to the normal schedule on Tuesday anyway, so I'll be all right. I'll get into the reason why I didn't do yesterday, actually. Maybe a reason why. But we'll get back to Hellraiser, actually. Yeah, that never really crossed my mind, of course. I was a young kid. I saw Hellraiser when I was about young, before I was 10, I would say. I'm one of those people who, you know, watch VHSs, you know. I wasn't alone. My mother introduced me to them, of course. You know, and the main sort of thing is you can probably watch an 18-rated movie with your parents, you know. I think that's the setup. It's like, unless you're an adult watching it, it's absolutely fine. As a young kid who's probably 8 or 9, who'd probably seen this for the first time, it was an interesting experience. I thought it'd be scary, but it wasn't. I'll tell you that. So I was like, oh, well, it's not frightening. As I found out, as you know, as the VHS artwork and it alluded to, it's like, you know, oh my god. You probably see it in the video store back in the day. It's like, you know, oh my god, that looks freaky as fuck. You know, that's going to give me nightmares for a few days. My favourite slasher film, of course, is the original Nightmare on Elm Street. That is a good film, fantastic. That is probably, it is one of the best slasher films ever. Absolutely, you know. I watched it. Oh god, many years ago. Halloween comes a close second. Halloween, yeah. Do you count the Evil Dead as a slasher? Is that, or is that like a horror possession film in a way? Do you count that? How do you class the Evil Dead? How do you do that? Because that's one of my favourites, actually. That is. Hellraiser is I don't think you can as such. That's more like a erotic, bloody gothic Hammer film, isn't it? In a way. But Elm Street's good. Halloween, I don't really know. I did see Halloween. I've only seen the original '78 one. I've never seen anything by Rob Zombie. Never seen Evil Dead, and no, not really. Yeah. I can't really tell. I mean, there's a lot of gore and a lot of slashing going on. There's a lot of, I mean, the original '81. Bloody hell. You know, surprised. You know, I'm quite surprised the BBC actually looked at it. I think, you know, that's not worth releasing. It's like, you know, like people being getting possessed and everyone's getting mangled, and it's the prep. You know, I think it may be half and half really. I think it's half and half. I would say, in a way, probably. Depends how gruesome it is, really. But Elm Street, I could probably say is good, because I remember watching a few years ago, actually. I think, or maybe less than that. A slasher film I need to watch is the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I've got the original '74 one, uncut version. That was that slipcase with just the chainsaw on the cover. Got that, and what's the other one I got? The Next Generation, number 4, the one with Matthew McConaughey and Renee Zellweger, and Leatherface as mainly as a woman, really, and that's of God. I haven't seen it yet though, but I know from many people it's a batshit crazy movie, in a way. Number 4, Next Generation, or whatever it is. Banned in this country for many years, absolutely. Oh God, oh Christ! It's the same with any other films. Really, Clockwork Orange. I was just taken off really, but I'd never seen it again until the late '90s, until after Kubrick's death, really. And I think I do on the original. I think I got VHS of that somewhere. I think, to my knowledge, I remember seeing that in the attic one years ago. I probably still have it somewhere, like original Warner Brothers late '90s release. I think, maybe. So I probably might have seen, along with maybe a movie like Cocktail as well. A few carry-on films, whatever, lingering about, whatever. But yeah. The only place in the UK it was legally shown is in London. The BBC refused to give a certificate. I can imagine. I think many films is like it's hard to pick really. I'm surprised it was never put on like video really. I mean, before the whole video nasty thing, of course, or during that time, before the certificates and whatnot, you know. I suppose it was released on home video, of course, and people to actually really witness, you know, the actual glory of that film, in a way. That will be interesting, you know, unless there's someone might have sell in the black market and sell it for like a very high price. I don't know, because I know there was a lot of that going on at the time. I think when the police came round to shut down to get all the stock really that was around, you know, that sort of thing, when people was like, you know, oh, we're just doing copies, we can sell on street corner for you. It was put on video in the preset era. Yeah. I wonder if that's still. I wonder if they actually got rid of that. You know, like if they still have presets, you know, a preset version of Clockwork Orange, you know, in stores before the whole video nasty. What do you think? Would they taken that as well, or would they? Or was it gone by then? Actually, even who knows? I really don't know. Actually, maybe they probably looked at that film and think, "Oh, that's bad. No, we'll get rid of that as well." Like, well, dump it in incinerator or something. Who knows? You know, I'm quite surprised. I mean, after how long? Mind you, The Exorcist as well. That's another one. Indeed. You know, that didn't get a full release until like late 1999, I think. Around that time, the same Clockwork Orange, like some of the greatest films from the '70s, so come back in the late '90s and get the rephrase they actually absolutely deserve. Yeah. Exorcist. Oh God. I've seen it. I've seen that. It's a film that my mother refused me to show. there was a preset for Clockwork Orange because Kubrick kept the ban, kept the ban in place on it. Okay. But I think obviously they didn't produce a lot of copies in there. Maybe I don't know actually. Unless they've been taken away, I don't know. Who knows? Going back to obviously there might be a preset for The Exorcist as well, I think. I saw it recently actually, and I was surprised by it actually, but I was quite surprised in weird imagery, of course, into it, really. I mean, the whole stuff, I think it's towards the climax, of course. I mean, you get the whole stuff with, there was no preset. That's interesting. So there was no preset for The Exorcist. There was no, so, should I go on the phone? No, forget it. I'll forget the phone. So it wasn't until like 1999 it actually got fully released on home video. Really? So that's an interesting one. Interesting. Unlike Clockwork Orange, that's all. I'm surprised they solved doing it presets. Well, I'm surprised that got preset, but that Exorcist never did. That is just interesting. That's just like a weird phone. Oh, there's no preset of Clockwork Orange. Oh, okay, right. Now I get now. All right. Okay, so it's the other way around, of course. Exorcist did, but Clockwork Orange doesn't. Okay, right. That's okay. It's like there was a preset of The Exorcist. Okay, yeah. So it's the other way around, of course. But I think that's the only time they actually. I don't know. I don't know if they released the video on VHS many years later as well, or was it until late 90s when it's all gone. Just came back really. I don't know. It's strange what with some of these films, of course. I know about Evil Dead, of course, because that's been reissued a few times over the 90s, of course. With Polygram taking it, take over the rights very much, but doing edits and everything else. I remember that. Probably not the best edits, but it was sort of released a bit, but cut to buggery, obviously. What I remember. The Exorcist remained on store shelves until the final VRA deadline in 1988. Really? So it didn't get fully. It didn't, so it didn't get taken into the late 80s. Oh, I thought it'd be a bit. I thought it was longer than that. Oh, Christ. I never knew that. Really, I thought it'd be a bit. Like back in like it was first released on preset, then it got banned entirely, and then got brought back until end of the 20th century. Really, when I think the new hands took over. Really, and they saw. Look at what's going on, of course, and decided to re-release everything. At the time, really. Yeah, listen, I never knew that. Christ. That's one thing about Exorcist I didn't even know. Yeah. Now to have all videos classified between 85 and 88. Oh, I see. But that's taking quite a number of years, of course, with the amount of films that have been released at the time. It's like that's really taking a lot of time and effort to really classify them. As always, must have been half of them actually. It must have been half of the BVFC at the time, especially with what's his bloody name, James Fenton. That's it. Trying to task all this stuff, of course, trying to please society pretty much, or Mary Whitehouse and knitting selfish, non-horny followers. I don't know, but to please her, it's mainly to please the White House, isn't it? It's mainly to please the old woman who probably shouts society at everything. Like she looks at kids, looks at she looks at kids in playgrounds and stuff like that. It's like they should be doing that. They should be inside, locked inside, and throw away the key until about 8 hours later, or something. Or maybe suggesting they go to boarding school, that sort of thing. I don't know. I'm not too sure what her morals are. I mean, if you look at interviews with her, it's like she probably looks like probably has that sort of sweet grandma edge to her, but underneath there's that weird sort of I don't know really. deviousness, I would say. James Furman was the only man who wouldn't give the Exorcist a video certificate, despite other members on the board think he was fine. Really? So everyone thinks like, no, it's an okay film. It's not too, really. He was the main one, who really just didn't want to like probably see it wither away with much like everyone else. They probably like the other members, like you said, the other board members, they're probably thinking, it's a decent film, good production things, like it's good. It's like how do you classify that though? It's like with them, it's like it probably again it must have been hard for Furman. They must try to describe, what was really come to the table, really. It's like I'm trying to remember the film really. If they look at something like Driller Killer or Zombie Flesh Eaters, or they look at God, I'm really trying to think of something that Texas Chainsaw Massacre for another example, of course. All these things, they're probably difficult. Like, how do you carry, again, how do you disclassify that? Of course, in terms depends on how much content and everything else. I think it depends on people's perception, really. They probably view all this stuff, of course. Basically, look at it, you think, that's absolutely not too far. It's like, that looks fine, that's fine. Unless they want a paycheck or something, you think, that's doable. We'll get a bonus out of that. So it's like, that's fine. They do a little survey, they do a little chicklets, like, don't go, fine. Sex, fine. Strong language, fine. Everything else, it's like, it could be like that, really. Obviously, you think, it's like, right, that'll be rated 18, that'll be fine. That'll be rated 15, it's fine, of course. It's like when people do that sort of thing with films when they release them. You think, oh, it's absolutely fine. People like 16, and over can probably see this film or something. Was it 14? Sometimes it's like, they can see this film. It's suitable for them. You look at them, hey, it looks 14, it looks fine. They'll probably look at it like a child who's probably 11 or something. It's like, you'll be fine. They'll probably get the audience wrong, I think, sometimes. It's like some politics. What's this? I would recommend M12's production web series, Furman, A Portrait of a Serial Sensei. Oh, I love the title already. That's brilliant. Oh my God, Henry Portrait. Yeah, it's a reference to of course, to Henry, Portrait of a Serial Killer. Oh, that's brilliant. That is that is fantastic. That is. I might check it out. Judging by the title alone, that is fantastic. That is. Yeah. I'll check that out at some point. I did have a look at the channel before. I think the last time you recommended it to me, I think, and I did have a little check. I did. I probably might check it out actually at some point. What was I thinking? I do remember checking the band Sadist videos, which was the J Quest 2-part documentary that was only included on the the band box sets that I remember I got. A 2-part thing that was on Anchor Bay at the time in the UK. I think that was at the time when they were slowly releasing the band movies out at the time. That's worth checking out as well. J Quest, the film I've never seen. But I need to. Again, it's another one of your listeners thing. I need to see that as well actually because it looks interesting. I thought I nearly had that film actually, but it's totally it's a different film altogether. Really, consider it's along with some other films I banned, weren't they? Like Witch Finder General, Scum, and Rabid, the Cronenberg film. I thought that's funny. That good thing, but it might be a documentary of that. I don't know. Both bands videos were on YouTube. Okay, that's interesting. But I think when they first came out, of course, they were exclusive to those DVD box sets, which I do obtain, still have. There are some good films on that. Actually, I sort of looked at really. I thought I really enjoyed really stuff like Evil Dead. Looking at that film again was fantastic. It was really good. Last House on the Left. That was a strange one. That was. Parts of it I enjoyed. With the two girls meet these gang members, of course, before all these group of people, of course, everyone tried to ask drugs or money or something. I don't know. before a concert or something. Maybe a portrait of serial killer was finished in 1986, but never released until 1990 due to distribution issues. Really? Oh, that's interesting. What was that? There are films like that I've known. It's like, you know, they finished in that sort of year, but they didn't get released until maybe many years later. It's like, oh God, what's the film I'm thinking of? I don't know actually. What's the film I'm thinking of? I'm thinking of like RoboCop 3 now. Actually, that's a bit of a weird, patchy thing. That is indeed. It was filmed back to back or sometime afterwards. I think Speaker Rice did a breakdown of Henry. Okay, I never heard of Speaker Rice. Bit of an odd username, but that's interesting. I might check him out as well. Indeed. Thanks for the recommendation. I was thinking about RoboCop 3 when you mentioned about this Henry Portrait serial killer. RoboCop 3, what I can remember was it was recorded. I think it was like filmed straight after the production of RoboCop 2, and that was meant to come out in 1991, but it never came to be. Well, it came to be, of course. It was released 2 years later in 1993 here in the States and other parts. We didn't get until like 1994. 1994 was when we got RoboCop 3, which was bloody strange. I always thought about it as a bloody direct-to-video thing. Of course, it's odd, really, because I don't know. It's done by Fred Decker, of course, who didn't have the Creeps and Whatnot Monster Squad, everything else. He does a series called Disturbing Breakdown, where he breaks down controversial films. Oh, that's interesting to look at. Disturbing Breakdown. I like the title, Disturbing Breakdown. That's good, I have to admit. Yeah. It's worth checking out. Fantastic. Was I remember thinking about a series, wasn't I? Disturbing Breakdown. I think maybe something like that. I don't know. I keep thinking of that bloody Band in the UK documentary still, aren't I? Actually, yeah. Would have done, yeah. Indeed. RoboCop 3 was shite. Well, the movies that killed Orion Pictures. Well, yeah. Well, that's true, because they did some. They blew the load, didn't they? Of course. And obviously, they had 1991 was so big for them, of course, with Silence of the Lambs and Dances with Wolves, absolutely. But financial really disclosed. They fucked them over, really. And obviously, they wanted RoboCop to bring it, be a big summer thing, really. Also, I mentioned before it was going to come out in 1991, so that would have been around that time, really. But plugging in 1993 didn't help. So this is actually doing 1991. That would have worked. Still in the 90s, yeah. Still in the 90s, despite Silence of the Lambs being the best picture winner, yeah. But obviously, what was that film they actually did? What was it called? Did they do a film that sort of tanked entirely? It's like like United Artists. They did Heaven's Gate. They did Heaven's Gate, didn't they? And so that sort of fucked them over a little bit, actually. And what's the other one? Kuroko. They did Cutthroat Island, didn't they? And that screwed them over as well, actually. So there's probably precedent for that, really. I'm not sure what the film Orion did. That sort of, that sort of clustered them, that really sort of damaged the sales, sort of shattered the company. I don't know. RoboCop 3, I think, as I mentioned before, if it was released in 1991, that would have been extremely bloody fierce. That will, because you've got T2 coming out at that same time as well during the summer. Would have been interesting publicity, I have to admit. Because did the game come out at that time? It was later than that, wasn't it? It would have been like, was it about 91, 92? I don't know actually. I don't know. Or was it later than that? I don't know. Oh my god. Well, that would have been like some weird, that sort of tabloid. The tabloids would be having a field day with that thing, of course. RoboCop 3 versus Terminator 2 Judgment Day in the summer of 1991. That would have been something. That would have been interesting. Because I know the first Terminator film was done by Ryan. That was. And I always thought that actually, you know, and obviously RoboCop has like some links to it as well. It does in the Terminator, because I always remember, you know, and I still sound like it's actually a really good trailer. It was like for the first RoboCop trailer you see from VHS at the time. When I watched the Terminator, the original that Virgin video, Christ. Obviously, you have the trailer for RoboCop as well with the Terminator music playing over it. Fantastic. What's that? Before 1982, it was Transamerica who had the United Artists Library. Okay. Well, I'm not too sure about with United Artists really, but I only know that Heaven's Gate was sort of the thing that sort of destroyed the company very much. Because the Bond series kept it going on really at the time. So I never knew that actually with Transamerica. Having hold of the library, of course. Mind you, depends what else is gone now really, because obviously MGM's been sold to Amazon now, so that'll be an interesting thing what to do. You know, I mean, it might be interesting to see what the outcome is with that thing. You know what Amazon are going to do with the brand and whatnot. Will be interesting. Was Heaven's Gate made before the merger? Re-Engine in 1982. I think it was actually. I think 1981. I think they did that. I think so. Yeah, it would have been actually. So 1980, 1981, Heaven's Gate came out at that time, and obviously, I think afterwards, this is one of the things, of course, involving the bloody merger of MGM, of course, and hoping the Bond series. You know, one thing I noticed is they want to keep making Bond films really at the time. They see Bond as a profitable thing really, and I think churn out each movie, of course, most of the movies, and that's all. I think it started with Octopussy, it did, and it didn't last long actually. It only lasted about 4 movies, and that was it really. And it sort of dissipated for about 6 years, didn't it? All I can remember. So I think because it kept it financially, everything else, because it's a main franchise series to keep everything going on. It's like Columbia with Ghostbusters in a way, because they always think, there should be a sequel and everything else, and change of hands sort of indicates that, well, not really, of course, and like that guy called David Putnam, who was trying to make small independent movies, and that sort of turned the company upside down. They did, plumb in the gutter for a bit. Obviously, new people will come on board and say, we want to do a second Ghostbusters, really. Actually, funny enough, a little bit of news about that, actually. Oliver Harper just posted just today, in the morning, this morning, actually, that Randy Edelman's score for Ghostbusters 2 is going to be released. Absolutely, because it's never been released on soundtrack or anything before. Then rights issues between Last Hill and Goldeneye happened. Absolutely, yeah. I'm not too sure how MGM and United, the whole MGM United actually handled all the way through in the early 90s. I don't really know how that sort of helped really. Yeah, I don't. They've probably been successful. I don't know, or maybe just like skimming over and just be like basic. I don't know really, but it's just a thing really. I don't really know actually. I know Turner now Warner Brothers owned the pre-86 MGM library. Really? I never knew that. I never knew that. God, a lot of research review made. Christ. Wow. What do you mean? Is it? What do you call it? Yeah, Turner. Okay. Warner Turner. Is it? That's interesting. But mind you, it's like again, it's been like I said before, MGM United Artists, Bond, big franchise. Ghostbusters with Columbia, that sort of thing. That sort of fizzled out afterwards, it did. Fox with, well, 20th Century Fox with bloody Alien. That's one thing. I think after Aliens, I would say it's been more like, well, I think really, so I think Alien sort of lets it up, and it does a bit. I don't know. Now one has the home video rights for MGM stuff before it was Fox. What? One has the home video rights for MGM stuff before it was Fox. Really? So Fox owned distribution rights to put MGM stuff. Really? Oh, okay. Now Warner Bros. Has got it. Interesting. Do these? So they probably still do, don't they? Or does Amazon fully have that now? Actually, in terms of home video rights, would they put their stamp on it now? Since they acquired the rights, would that be? It wouldn't be Warner, wouldn't it? Or would Warner still have the rights to put on home video, or would it be Amazon now? Since plans have changed, we don't know. Really, that's never been brought up, has it? Obviously, the whole streaming stuff and everything else. But Amazon, Christ, they'll have to endorse Amazon stuff, of course, like little adverts and whatnot, and on DVDs, whatnot, that sort of thing. Nice Amazon logo on the spine. Or they can probably showcase a little trailer for Amazon Prime or something. As start of the disc or something, as a little promo. Amazon has MGM and Warner. Okay, that's all right. So Amazon owns it fully, the films and whatever. Well, Warner Bros. Still has the home distribution rights. That's good. Well, that must have been sort of like, I think that might have been part of the deal. I think so. That might have been part of when they obtain it. It's like Warner Bros. Just still keeps the home video rights, of course. You just keep all the films, make new films, that sort of thing, distribute them, on Amazon Prime, do stream whatever. But Warner's do it just for home video stuff, So there's still a point in it. That's okay. That's all right. Begs the question. I don't know. Actually, I never even known that. It's like with the Disney acquiring, Disney acquiring Fox, isn't it? It's like, how's that going to work? I would just get like a bloody, Mind you, did they Disney used Buena Vista, didn't they? They had Buena Vista for other films rather than animated Disney films, or like Touchstone as well, don't they? Disney had them, and what's the new one? Like Buena Vista and Touchstone home video and everything else, they had that sort of thing. Fox sold the home video rights to Warner's, so after Fox Disney, really? So Fox has sold their back catalogue to Warner, sold the video rights to distribute their back catalogue for Warner's. Okay, same with MGM. Okay, oh, well, that'll be interesting. Be one of those things. Yeah, Disney are now releasing Fox, and now releasing Fox. So yeah, that's gonna be funny. I'm surprised they still haven't used, again, like Buena Vista. That's because that was used on tons of films, I think. Touchstone films, bloody Hollywood Picture Films as well. If you remember Hollywood Pictures, that was that bloody film. I don't know if it's still around. I don't know. It's a film company that Disney produced. To make they made their own films, like adult films, like my copy of Speed and the French Connection have Disney's bland blue discs. Really? Well, so like so those are like new recent reissues, aren't they? So they're like second hand or whatever, like after how many odd years? That's the bland blue discs. Have a nice little marking with a disc where like Mickey Mouse is on the scroll to the back, like an election or something like that. I don't know, or like a little symbols and little ring bits where you read your blue discs and it reads the information. Oh, that'll be something. Endorsing the mouse, endorsing the Walt Disney, that sort of thing. Hollywood Pictures Course in 2007. Oh, all right. Because I wasn't too sure when they were. If they were still around or not, I don't know. Close in 2007. I can imagine with the Hollywood Pictures, of course. I can imagine. I think obviously the whole Disney thing, of course, that's engulfed it. Recent pressings of all the titles, although they still use the old Fox covers. Oh, really? Really? So they're repressing they're repressing the whole thing, of course, but old covers, okay. Couldn't they make some new ones instead, or they're basically happy with what they got, really, unless it's just budget. Even though Disney's got billions, millions, tons of cash, it's like, could they have like really artwork, like what you tend to see with some films, really, make a decent slipcover out of it, and put it on. It's like with Arrow, with the Arrow video Blu-rays, of course. You can they introduce new artwork. They do some fantastic artwork. They do some really good sketches, some not so good ones, but some interesting ones to keep people interested. But also they have the reverse covers as well, like of the original movie posters of some like all the original release of how it was released back in what day, really. I would love to see that actually. Speed still has the old Blu-ray marketing on the cover, despite being a new pressing. Oh, again, it's probably I think like reusing old artwork and everything else. Like oh, we'll scan this. They'll do anything else. But like, imagine this on new alternative artwork, like some new flashy artwork. And you can reverse the cover. You can keep the original cover, but you have a new cover as well. That would be fantastic. Having a clear case or whatever. That'll be fantastic. That'll be interesting. Follow what Arrow's doing. Follow what's sort of company does this. Bollocks. It's not being fire and all that. It won't be the Criterion Collection. I'm not too sure it's that either. I don't know. I think it's just Arrow really, because they tend to smash. Obviously a big company now, of course, and it's basically just doing what they want to do really. Release all these sort of naff films and high definition whatever, and like, fucking hell. It's like this whole thing and new artwork and everything else. I've become a sucker for them sometimes. I do want about 4. I do. I was going to say 3. No, I'm 4. I do. I still keep these sort of new artwork. Are awesome new artwork. Absolutely. The only films I remember getting from them, I'll probably get some more later on. Depends what films they release. With my Arrow races, I always use the theatrical artworks. Okay. I don't tend to actually. I don't tend to use the theatrical artworks. I just leave it as it is, really. Although it's like when you look at the Classic Doctor Who DVDs, we always tend to swap them down for the layout. So we tend to don't go for the new artwork that's been released. Or look around for the how with the classic DVD look of it. That sort of thing. We always do that. We do. That's the only thing I ever do with DVDs really. Over that, I just keep the artworks really. I'll keep the artwork as it is. Send my Doctor Who DVDs really. I just swap the covers really. It has to be in line with the rest of them. That sort of thing. It has to be like with on the spine. It has to be right in order. Fits in snugly. It does that sort of thing. Whereas the other ones, I just leave the new artwork on, which I actually do like actually. Obviously they keep the same stuff, of course. I recently got Heathers and Videodrome when I pre-ordered Evil of the Daleks. Heathers. I still need to get that film really. I need to get some other films I want to see. Videodrome. Probably not Videodrome. Heathers is interesting. To Brianna Wider. Yeah, that'd be interesting to get actually. I've seen it a few times, but I actually never bothered getting it. I need to get some. I don't tend to use the reverse art on my Doctor Who titles unless it's the recent covers. Yeah, that's why I think I was trying to prove a point. What we're getting recently down in reconstructions, we always tend to reverse the artwork, don't we, to the classic standard, DVD cover really, which is nice actually. Imagine if they never did that. That would have been strange. But I'm a pal here. I do have the slipcases on actually. I still have I changed the outlet, but I still have slipcases. I like the Faceless Ones in Fury for the Deep just here at the moment. So it is quite odd looking in a way. It's like our place, but that's that sort of thing. It's just there really. I mean the same with. Is the same with Makoto as well? I think. I don't know. Let's see. But I do that. But going back to Arrow, they're really good there. Only four. I've only got. They're all from the 80s. They are actually. So it only depends what films I'm interested in buying actually, because obviously I mentioned Hellraiser. I do own the Blu-ray version of Hellraiser along with the sequel. They didn't have number 3 though, because they released number 3 as well. They used to in the box as well. I think it's called Scarlet Box or something. I don't know. Something like that. No, Scarlet. I don't know. I think that's a novel or something. I don't know. I don't mind having purple beeps shelf. I don't mind them either, actually. I'm totally cool with that, you know. It's like with the 2 and 10 logos on the side, really, because you've got white and you've got blacks as well. You know, I don't mind that. That's absolutely fine. I think the other one I've got something like that is... I'm trying to look at now. List of palm here. I think it's the only one that's like sort of just BBC instead of 2 and 10 is Scream and Shouker. Just on there, pointing at my palette just here. You know, I think that's the only one that sort of does that really. I really don't mind. I mean, the logos themselves I don't mind either. Like different versions of it, of course. Although you can change them out. You know, when they release the purplish, I mean, like you mentioned, the purple BBC one. Obviously, they actually do have reverse covers as well. I think I can have a look because I think you can change them. Let me have a look. Because I think for this one, this is my reader. This is you can. Let me move this as well. Because I was in a click. I got to cheat. You know, you can change it round just to keep it like that. I don't know. It seems strange, of course. You know, obviously that's how it's released. That's how I've changed mine. My avatars include Big Trouble in Little China, The Avengers of Buckaroo Banzai, and of course the Eighth Dimension, Rollerball, Donnie Darko, The Thing, Heathers, and Videodrome. That's grand. Good collection, mate. That is, you know, that's a really good solid collection. You know, and Fritz the Cat collection was pre some pre-Arrow video as well. Fantastic. That's bloody amazing, mate. That's bloody amazing. That is. That's really good. Good collection. You know, stuff like that. Big Trouble in Little China, instant classic. Underrated John Carpenter film, just a really good one. Adventures of Buckaroo Banzai. I mean, people always say that needs to be remade. I don't know why. You know, but could be. I don't know. I don't think that film never be touched. I don't think. Rollerball. I never heard of Rollerball, so I don't know what to think of that. Donnie Darko. I know that film. Yes. Actually, about that cover version of Gary Jules, Mad World, which was Christmas #1 in 2003. That's stupid. That is. That's an interesting film with Jake Gyllenhaal in. The Thing, brilliant film, fantastic. Same with Heathers. That's an interesting one indeed. Actually, I got annoyed by the clear boxes on it too. Yeah, this is clear box. This is just second hand. This was so. You know, I've got a few people stuff like this, stuff like from the Colin Baker era. So, like. I think it's just Attack of the Sidemen and Mark of the Rani. I think I've got them in clear cases here. I've got some CEX crowd number about last year. I think last year, maybe 2 years ago. I think something like that. You know, these are all like the recent purchase, like just to finish up the collection, really. Yeah, they were just like that, really. So, I mean, I think the original silver case might have been broken, but I did buy some replacement silver DVD cases from eBay. Yes, I don't really tend to do that really. I don't know. I never do. It's like when people buy maybe secondhand VHS cases, like for the black ones, in terms of an 80s release. I probably don't do that. I can't be bothered doing that. Of course, I'm happy how it is. You know, if I buy a VHS with an 80s cover on, 80s tape and stuff, but the casing's clear, I don't mind that. I'm fully used to that. You know, that doesn't bother me in the slightest. And this doesn't really either. You know, this never does. I'm not a capricious or, you know, sort of who's as an OCD, very much of like, this should be right, this has to be authentic release. I don't like that. You know, that doesn't bother me. That doesn't try and rip the hair out and make me go insane and, you know, buy stuff and, you know, blow my cash on the cases just for whatnot, just to make it a bit more complete, a bit more like the others. What's this? The Mara Tales said the Time and the Rani and Paradise Towers came in clear cases. Mine didn't, funny enough. Mine was silver. The case I got with Brandy from maybe a seller who sells most replacement cases. Okay, that's interesting. I remember getting Time and the Rani from H&V. From what I recall, that had a silver case that did, and never knew it came in a clear case. I think all the ones I bought from H&V and FLs all come in silver cases. The only ones in terms of clear cases here are the recent ones I've got, like Nightmare of Eden, Attack of the Cybermen, and Mark of the Rani. Those are the only ones that come in clear cases. All the other ones I've bought since I was young from MVC, eBay, and H&V, secondhand CX as well. That's Entertainment. All these stores all come in silver cases. You know, very much apart from these three I got from CX like a year or two ago. I got the silver cases from the little things for the swing trays. Okay. So they do like in like a double disc swing, isn't it? That's okay. Yeah, but I'm you know, I get the clay cases of space. That's true. Yeah, absolutely. I used to volunteer at a charity shop. I did many years ago when I was a teenager. That was like a part-time. That was like just like a little sandy thing, a little job thing. That was. What I used to do sometimes is if a case was complete, like it was complete damage, I did replace it actually because it was going to be on sale. People, you know, I thought that's going to be a good film to put on. And I used to price them as well. And you can sort of get away with stuff like that. You know, I'll put this back and tell you more about it. Oh yeah, there's another one as well. Is it? Ah. Forgot about that. Okay, so I've got more than from CX. Okay. Ah. So, yeah, but all the swing trays still, you know, the swing trays are still clear because the silver ones are next to impossible to find. Okay, so basically the ones you saw picked up are like, you got the silver, you know, silver trays, but everything's clear. That's getting a bit weird actually, you know, but. What can you do, mate? That's the thing. I mean, impossible to find unless you try and paint them or spray paint them. I don't know. I don't know if that's ever been attempted. I don't know. I don't think anyone's gone that far to do that. Actually, I don't know. You know, it's like, oh my god, my tray's clear. It's clear plastic. I must spray paint it with silver paint or whatever. It's like, I don't think that'll work. I don't know. Or someone as mad as enough to do that. Indeed. But like you mentioned before, the clear cases of spares. I went to British Heart Foundation for a year, I did. And this would have been during the time I was in college. So after I left out of school, I went during the time in college. So this would have been summer, I think it was like for a good year. I'd probably say July, August 2013, and then I finished the next year after college. Free Fair do size its silver swing tray, but you know, but I put in the silver case. Okay. Oh yeah, because it's still on. Yeah, because I have a few from the deep still here actually. Indeed. What was I going to say? So one of the things I did was, you know, where my local British Heart Foundation was, it was a bit like a Chinese sweatshop in a way, sort of like that really, but a bit cluttered. There was a lot, very cluttered in many places. But one of the things I did was with CDs and DVDs, of course, I found replacement trays. I used to get, you know, if a CD was like, you know, damaged, I thought like, oh, that's good. You know, I see potential. Like someone's going to buy that. That looks good. I attempt to, you know, tempted to find a different CD and probably just rip it, rip the trays out and whatnot. And the seller I'm also cases from is one called Tasha Traders Limited. Ah, okay, that's interesting. This is worth checking out if I need some extra ones like that. Really depends, really, but I'm not fussed really at the time. But what I used to do was, if I just get like an old CD, of course, I can probably rip it out, dissect or dismantle the whole disc or something, the whole casing, whatever. Take out the artwork, plug that artwork in, and put the disc in. Wouldn't matter actually. They're, it wouldn't hurt a fly, of course. And you could be in charge with the sticker gun as well, of the prices. What it used to be like. I replace the case if they come in with those eco cases. Yes, those eco cases. But what I used to do sometimes, of course, the thing how that sticker gun worked, really, how it is. Let me think. I think I've got CDS or this in the pie something as well. So, if you can't really see it, so I've got a CD here. Very much like that. Similar thing like that. But you used to, there was like a dial thing, of course. You have the gun, top of there, around here, a low dial. It was like an ink dial, it was. It works out cheaper the more you buy. If you do more, it works out cheaper the more you buy. If you do, I would say buy more than you usually need for spares. Okay. Be a nice little bit of advice there, really. Indeed. One thing, obviously, how it works was, I think you decided to slot. I think it's like slotting one number there. I don't know. I think it's like, but there's a little dial when you do it actually, and obviously you can, just change price. I usually do that sometimes. Actually, you think like, I look at this disc and I think, I could probably make about 99p or something, of course. Or it's like, I don't know. I could probably do a box set. I could probably think 299, 399. I could probably do something like that. Really. I used to mess around the prices. Of course, I did sometimes for a year. I did. And so some people got some good films cheaper than some others. I think it depends. CDs, DVDs, really. But I used to take up, for example, if this case is damaged, I could just rip out the whole thing, rip out this whole CD and whatnot, and get another one. That's sort of ideal. And yeah, that's what I used to do actually. I think I'll just get rid of it. I think I'll just get this one dismantled or try and throw it away. I don't know. I have a few Blu-ray cases on order, including a 6-disc Blu-ray of my Friday the 13th set because the case is fallen apart at the spine. I mean, it's all, you got holes and stuff at the side of the spine and everything else. Very chipped and damaged, that sort of thing. Obviously, I've had that for years, I think. Who knows? Damage. Sorry. Oh, probably how it is. 6 Blu-ray case. I can imagine. Yes, I can definitely imagine. Indeed. Who knows? Probably the same for those standard edition. Because they reissue the bloody Doctor Who Classic Series, having the Blu-rays now. Obviously from Series 10, 19, 18, and now 10. That'll probably be the same thing actually. Because there's a guy, what was it called, Doctor Who Guide. He did an unboxing. I think it's for Series 12, I think. And when he got it, it was broken. He actually, I think he opened it and saw the disc tray was shattered. It did. Bits of it shattered, funny enough, when he got it out of the post, really. But that was an interesting thing, really. Obviously, there's still, obviously it's still cheap plastic and everything else. I'll probably bring it down actually, just to do some more indication, really. Just give me a second. Yeah, so I saw his arrived damage. Yeah, so if I can try and light it, I think it'll work. Obviously, yeah. So you got your standard. Is this your similar to your Friday the 13th box anyway? So like similar thing, very much. With bloody disc trays and whatnot. So all this stuff here on the sides. So all this stuff. I can imagine, yeah. Because these sort of like where that's sort of being loose. That sort of sticks out a little bit. I've noticed. Yeah, it's mainly to do with the hinges. It's mainly to do with the hinges, really. I think how that works. I don't know. Cover that really. You know, because that's always been a problem. Really, it's always been the come loose. I think these are a bit secure. How does that work? It feel a bit loose. That did. That's strange. Strange. Ah. I see. It's. Let me think. A bit like that, only thinner. Okay, so yours is more thinner than this. You know, bit chunky. Imagine this has got about bloody. How many discs has this got? 8 discs in. So it's about 8. There's 8 discs in this thing. I keep thinking it's 7. That's the number of cereals, isn't it? Yeah. So there's about 8 discs in this thing. So it's fair enough. Yeah. Well, I think it's still the spines, really, of course, how it is. This is actually not too alright, actually, because I've actually never played this yet, because I haven't got a Blu-ray player in this bloody house, actually. So, but it's actually alright. There's no damage. The hinges between the front and spine are splitting. Ah, okay, between the front and the spine. Right. I can definitely tell. I don't know if these are improved or not. I'm not sure if these things are the same or are they are an improved version. I'm not too sure. Really, I can't really tell that because this is the only sort of one I've actually ever bought, like a Blu-ray. Well, no, that Time of Victorious box set. I forgot. I can't tell why I forgot about that. Yeah, I should have done because I went to the house recently anyway. So, yeah. So yeah, I don't know if that's sort of the I think it's a similar thing, but I think time has gone on. These sort of DVDs are being released, or any sort of Blu-ray is released anyway. It's you know, I think they're sort of more durable now. I think roughly, maybe they could be durable. Depends if you, unless I just drop it down. It's like, you know, something like that or anything. It's like you know, no damage. You get a bit of rattling here and there, but you know, no damage really. Can't really tell really, but who knows? Indeed. I'm always interested anyway, because you know, I was planning to do a video of this at some point actually, but I might record a video. Would you prefer something like this? Of course. Do you think these standard editions are ideal? In a way, do you think these are ideal? Personally, I don't mind them actually, because I know a lot of people have talked about these all the time. Really, it's used for space. It's a nice little compact, you know, disc. Of course, put on your shelf. Really, I don't mind. I think it's for me. It's nice. It's nice that at least you get these in your collection. Like you can finally get these actually, because when I first knew about they were doing these sort of things for Series 12, Series 19, I was like, really? That sort of thing. I was sort of not turned on, sort of interested by it. I was sort of more interested. I mean, I think the only thing I was sort of interested was with the behind the scenes stuff. Really, that was sort of the main thing. I mean, the artwork's brilliant. Lee Barnes' artwork is fucking fantastic. You know, really good little collage and everything else. I would say yes, not least for all the cost. That's true. I mean, I think I paid £33 for this. Actually, I think £33 roughly. Because I think the other ones are like 44, 45, the limited edition ones. I'm still not going to buy them, really. Who knows? I've seen a lot of these limited editions in CX and random CXs. I've only picked up 2 limited editions, of course, which is Season 14 and Season 23. You know, ones. And it's like, you know, actually, the funny thing with that one, with Season 23 is, out of all the ones, that was the cheapest out of the lot. All the rest were, you know, this, Season 12, season 10, season 18. I think that was the ones. They were selling like the limited editions of this, £110. £110. Season 23, 60 quid, £60. My collection was over half down since, by the time season 12. I still buy the DVDs even the Blu-rays that are out. Yeah, I still buy. I think I've completed my collection's always is completed. I'm just waiting for the anime reconstructions to come. That's what I'm just waiting for now. So it's a complete collection. But I've completed, I think last year. Roughly, because the last ones in this DVD pile here are the last ones I needed for my collection, really. So stuff like the Ark, Delhi Assassin, Destiny of the Daleks, Nightmare of Eden, Frontios, The Twin Dinner, Attack of the Cybermen, Mark of the Rani, Time Lash, and Scream the Shouker. Those are the last ones I needed for my collection. I actually kind of lost interest with Doctor Who doing 2018, 2009. 2018, 2019. I saw a thing about this. I do, and I think it was mid 2020 when I decided I wish to really finish it. I saw lost interest in Doctor Who about 2012. I sort of did actually. I think I was really focused on the show bit, which that's when I was actually starting to write stuff. I did my own stuff because I felt bored of what was going on during the Matt Smith era, especially in Series 7 Part 1. That was absolutely bloody dire. It was rubbish. It was terrible. I've done my thoughts on that series already with the ranking stuff anyway. So far I've got up to Series 3 anyway. I've got one coming up anyway. I recorded one, but I haven't edited it out yet or released it yet. I need to get to actually because there's two videos I recorded, but I haven't edited them yet. Actually, I will do something tomorrow maybe. I could probably do some editing tomorrow, tonight. I don't know. After this live stream, I'm not too sure really. I have to wait and see. But I do like these actually. I might get some more. I was hoping. I was a bit surprised actually because when then I said, season 18 and season 10 around. It's like, wait, what? I thought they'd come a bit later, of course. But it's like, well, I have to wait and see. I might check on when I go to my latest Patreon video if it's still got any, because the thing is, I only picked up this one because I was really intended to get season 19. I didn't really care for season 12. It was there as well. It was on the shelf. It was like, ooh. But I was more interested in getting season 19. Screw it. I want Davison. I want the fifth. I want Davison. I want Peter Davison stuff. No Tom Baker. I've only got a season of Tom Baker anyway, so it's fine. But I definitely want the Davison series. I'm picking this up. Screw Tom. Fair enough. Someone else can have that. Someone else can have that one. I finished in early 21 because I was looking for work. I spent a cheeky bit on the universal credit on it. Now I have a job. Do you now, mate? That's it. I still have a job, but I'm losing my job in September, so that's one thing. So I need to find another one soon. Oh boy. But I've still got shit ton of cash to go on through anyway, so yeah, I'm fully loaded. You have a job now. What do you... Did you say this before? What your job was? I don't know. Also, that's something I don't really know actually. I'm just going to pull this back. I'll be 1 sec anyway. So. Yeah, I work for a cybersecurity agency. It's cleaning their database. Okay. So you recently started around there, haven't you? Did you? Recently started. Obviously, few computer skills and everything else, that sort of thing. It's like, what can I think? It's a 6-month contract, and yesterday was the 3-month anniversary of me starting. Good on you, mate. Well, I hope everything goes all right for that. Anyway, if they finish the 6 months, they'll probably think, we want to keep you on, that sort of thing. For me, it's a bloody strange story. It is at the moment. It's a bit of a strange. I don't know. It's just going for a bleak time limit with me because this year's been there's been going. It's been like a wavelength, really. I mean, 2020. I thought 2020 was horrendous. It was, but this one's just. It's getting close to that in a way because obviously there's been some good stuff anyway. Enjoying fun, sun, a shit ton of partying, absolutely. I'm still doing that still on the bloody weekend as well. My God, I'm basically jumping into all sorts of situations in a minute, really. But that's all sort of party and stuff. I've got to do a long road. I've got to do a long bus trip anyway. I'll explain this later anyway. But the moment this year's been bleak, bloody bleak it has in a way for me, because I ended up getting coronavirus anyway. They have a good job for me. After 3 months, I will continue. But if they don't, I will continue searching. We'll see how you do, mate. Everything. I think everything might be off you. As long as they like you, mate. As long as you get a lot of respect. As long as they like you. As long as you just do your best, you'll be absolutely fine. Get interesting. It's interesting in life. It is. I don't know. I'm trying to think of it. I would say 21 has been a better year than 2020, but it's not great. No. Yes, I know. It's a strange one. It is. I mean, this year's it's been like shit hitting the fan, really, in a way. Because in January, I've been tested for COVID. I lost my senses. Well, my taste and smell, I did. So, nothing too serious. I didn't became bedridden or anything else, or came to death. Nothing like that. But I lost my senses, and to be honest, being stuck in home for 10 days, living off white wine, that is not the best thing to do. I wouldn't go there, and maybe crackers are what's left in this Christmas hamper you got from work. That's not the COVID isolation hamper guide or anything like that. And living off white wine, fucking hell, Jace. Never doing that. Well, I'll probably still drink wine if I'm off it, but Christ, I won't be buying bottles anyway anytime soon. Or if I'm stuck in that, if I'm in that after isolating again, I'll consider again and maybe beers or something. Don't do wine. No, that's terrible. That's one thing. But on the plus side, I got vaccinated twice. That's a good thing. Well, the first vaccination did that thing, of course. Then there's some good news. There's more good news anyway. I'm going to be a godfather anyway. I know it's strange, but I'm good. It only lasted 10 days, and it felt fine. It did. I felt afterwards. But there was a lot of positive good news afterwards. I was announced to be a godfather. A good friend of mine I've known for over 20 years. As announced, he's getting a son here, so I'm getting a godson, which is lovely. I've been looking forward to seeing him in October, around autumn time, really. So that'll be an interesting time. That'll be a fantastic time. That will be. That was announced, and well, he actually kept it secret. He did. He kept it secret. He only told me and my two other mates I've known for a long time as well. Just don't tell anyone until we release the news. So they released the news, of course. I think this is in April. So 6th of April, they announced it. The day after, we got a massive meeting with the higher ups where I work. Now, the job I do, I'm a care support worker. I am. I've done care for about 8 years. For about 8 years running now. And the place I worked at, it's done by Leonard Cheshire. It was this whole major company. It is involving looking after people with disabilities, various disabilities, in diseases. That's all. Well, not diseases, of course, like conditions, whatnot, and everything else. Massive thing, of course, but they've obviously been suffering over the time. What I've been told about, really, in terms of like various different providers or different companies taking over and just taking off the bloody homes, really. So there were some things about that actually beforehand. There was some talk, like I say, that we might be getting a different company taking over the house that we are living in, or not living in, working at, really. So the property. That was shut on when we got in September, saying no, it's going to close. Obviously, apparently, it's run by the council, but it's also it was relied on funding by many people, really, and it obviously with the pandemic and COVID and everything else, we didn't get any donations. So, and the thing that bothered me the most is that the manager knew about it for 18 months. He knew it was going to close for, he knew it for about 18 months. He did. He knew it for a fucking long time, and he never told us. They told us like that after we had after our vaccinations, everything else, after we've been through this bloody wave and whatnot, various waves of COVID, of course, and lockdown stuff, of course. That was the time they were sort of easing stuff out. They were at the time we were going out that bloody third lockdown. That he kept this from us. I think it was like late 2019 or something like that. He got the news, and for the whole year, for the whole maybe whole 20 through last year, and maybe for the good few months of this year, he never told any of us. He never told the fucking staff at all. Between him and somebody else, maybe, and that was it. So he literally knew. He literally knew, and he probably just gave us false information and just to lead us in a different direction, that sort of thing. And that pissed me off. It pissed everyone off. It really pissed every single person, every single staff member off. Literally, it did. Yes, well, everyone. Trust me, everyone will be. It's like that. It's one of those things. It's absolutely just diabolical. It is, and everyone's like, and I think everyone's lost faith in that sort of thing. Like with everyone else, really. They're sort of. It's strange. It is really. So what we've been doing is we've just been sorting stuff out. Residents have been going out. Actually, we were in actual talks. We had about 30 residents. We're down to 7 now. I think one's going tomorrow. We're just down to seven clients now, and we've got tons of staff. 7 clients. That is fucking ridiculous. That is, But it's a weird time. It is, and obviously we're still contracted. We're all contracted until the end of September. By that point, we probably have no clients, so we might be doing nothing or stripping the whole house down. We don't even know what we're going to do. We have no plan. We're not sure what the plans are. Once all the clients are gone, we have no idea. We're still we're still in the dark in a minute. Still, there's still the inevitable there is. Some people probably say we finish in end of August, but the higher ups who are from Liverpool, London, whatever, a bunch of bastards really, and say no, you're contracted to the end of September. There's always some other stuff going as well, like pledges and whatever, and there's always some people saying, no, we're supposed. I remember this actually when in the last meeting we had. There's a woman, like some financial woman or something like that, and the main head of the blue company, is a terrible position to be in. Yeah, no, it is. It's absolutely terrible. It is. But we're still, me and the staff, of course, we go up to, we're still going to each other. That's the main thing. There's still that family thing, unit between the staff of us. Still there. But you can tell it's slowly deteriorating, it is, with people. Some people have gone, in a way, doing other stuff, really. Doing different jobs. One's doing housekeeping at a hotel that's usually used by swingers, really. Like people have run times, probably do a couple of orgies around there, but we don't know. Hope she's all right. But most of us, well, to be fair, I haven't bothered finding a job yet, really, still, because I'm having this carefree partying phase in a minute, of course, but I will do at some point. I'm just enjoying summer in a minute. As you can tell, I'm burnt to a crisp, well, burnt red still. So I'm enjoying the weather. I'm enjoying whatever the booze and everything else. I'm enjoying a lovely, fantastic drink. I'll be partying as always. I'm trying to keep in a good mood, although the alcohol's taking up a lot. It is definitely, because I'm going on this massive bus trip on Saturday after I finish work. It's called the 555. It's basically, you do a pub crawl where you go on the bus as well. You go to like different towns in wherever far away. Like it's like you travel from one place that maybe like you start off at your hometown, which my hometown's Kendal. Go to Staveley, go to Windermere, go to Trialbeck, whatever, Ambleside, Grasmere, Keswick, whatever, it's going to be painful because there's two ways you can do it. You can drive up all the way to the end point where you finish yourself in that town and start there and go back down, or you just go up and it's like going on an adventure. It's like bloody treasure hunt or something like that, but instead of treasure, it's booze really for pints really. So that's what around my area does my county do anyway. So go on bus trips, go to a pub, and then you just go up and whatever. It's like a Rampton, but it's a Rampton pub crawl. It is, but it's gonna be funny. And I've got to go to a garden party. It's to work actually. It's just Mount's 50th. That's the next day, and I'll be fucked. I will, because I'll be extremely drunk. I'll be hungover, and I have to go to this garden party somewhere near a petrol station, like houses, whatever. I don't know. Wherever it is, I don't know. It's good. Oh my god, it's literally gonna be wild. It's gonna be It's a wild weekend for me. Oh boy. But we'll see how it goes. But I think with work at the minute, it's just like ridiculous, really. And obviously, you get bored, because at the moment we've only like got a list of maybe like a couple of people to do. You start to do 3 people really at this moment. It's going to be even more shorter soon when I get back to work on Friday. Christ. Obviously, you just get bored. You see, I'm doing nothing really half the time. It's like you have this thing called handover where people discuss, oh, we'll go through this, of course. Remember, at this time, someone's going to visit someone, everything else, someone's going to go for appointment afterwards, That's what we do. That's what handover is. And afterwards, we stay for a bloody hour, sitting doing absolutely nothing. And it's going to become more so later on. Later on, it's going to be like, a couple of people, get a couple, maybe couple people. You sort of buy your time. You get one person up, maybe an hour or two later, you get another one up or something like that. It just depends, really. It's a weird thing. It's strange, and it can be quite depressing. It can be because you're doing nouts half the time. It's like the boredom really hits you. It does. It definitely hits you. It does. Like a bloody fist to the face. It's just you try and do something. You try and work out something. But it's just one of those things, really. It's like, sometimes we're enjoying it, of course. It's like, oh, finally, I can have a nice little rest for a while. We don't have to worry about the pressures and everything else. That's true, but later on, of course, you feel like, Christ, I'm fucking bored. It's like, there's nothing else to do. You basically wander through corridors. You just smoke whatever you want, drink what you want, of course. You probably bring something else and play, mess around with the other staff members or whatever. Yeah, have a bit of time, cause their chaos sometimes, but it gets bored. It bloody gets bored. It does, indeed. But we're still hanging in there sometimes. We still try to keep sane sometimes, and we still got to staff still each other. We still try. The thing is, I think since April, I think probably since that meeting, of course, we've become more connected. We're just meeting up for booze all the time. Really. It's like, do you not come and meet us at a garden bar or whatever, like crossing the lake? Yeah, sure, of course. Like I've always been, I always keep getting invited along to all sorts of stuff I do. It's like, we're going down for this amazing pub crawl down, whatever. We're starting off this place called Queens or something. Then go to a Spanish bar afterwards. Or we're thinking about going to this little cocktail bar called Brown Sugar or something. It's like, that sort of thing. It's become that really now. It's like, I'm invited on this old party and crew stuff. It starts in April, so it's basically like, it's transcended as it's come. It'll reach its peak soon. It'll come to it soon. I'll probably just go pass out or whatever and give up drinking. I don't know. But we're still together. Most of the workmates, we're still hanging in there. I think that the whole thing of us partying and going out for drinks and stuff, that's keeping it together. That's like a little bit. That's like a little thing to keep going on for. It's like we still got each other. I still like you very much, of course. Let's have a few pints. Let's get smashed. That sort of thing, and probably finish till about midnight or something. We'll start 4:30 or something, and it happens like that really. But there's still a good strong connection between everyone else. We still look out for each other and everything else, even though the big massive shit has hit the fan and everything else, and it's like, I don't know. Oh, there we go. I was try and let down my sister a bit, you know. But it's nice to have people around you. That sort of thing. It's like where you work at. You probably be working out now. There's probably like decent people you probably met, and you'll get used to. And the good thing is have a good reputation with people. That's the main thing. Have a good reputation with people. You'll be absolutely fine. Trust me. You know, if you know a lot of people, you know that's it's like you're sort of like the coolest man in the room. It's like you're the man. You've Mind you, I used to teach all. I used to show people the ropes. I used to be like, it's a funny thing. When I first started out, of course, I was totally sort of. I did sort of a similar thing years ago, but I've barely been working like one-to-one social worker type stuff, really, in a way, that type of stuff. Doing like day shifts, really, and nothing else. Not working in a complete home residential environment, really. I did that for a few months in one place. I think after college, I did, and it's all fell through, but I never did that again until when I started very early the beginning of 2017, actually. Same time I was doing the channel as well. Same time. Yeah, even though I've been making videos probably since 2016 anyway, so yeah, that's a funny thing. Before I did YouTube anyway, so that's one thing. Indeed. I'm just questioning now, actually, what was the reason to go into YouTube anyway? Because I'm interested by your origin story of your channel, really. In a way, what was the sort of intention, really? Was it just like inspiration or anything, or was it just like do you feel what was the sort of intention? My intention, I know how that happened, really, but I'll probably tell it after yours. I think that'll be interesting to know. Is it just to do like just showing off your DVD collection, what you bought, really, that sort of thing? Because I know a lot of people tend to do that, actually, in a way. But mine was just a different thing. But I'll let you maybe answer first, really, if you wish to. Because my channel origin is quite different, really, and a bit surprising, actually. I probably might have mentioned a few videos before, maybe a couple of years ago, but I can probably tell the origin for it, if you like. That's a bit of tiger, actually. So you've been actively watching YouTube for years prior. You just want to start a YouTube page, really. So you just watch YouTube videos, and you look to you think, that'll be good. I could probably do that. It's like I'm sure I could do that. Just get a camera and just film and easily upload. That seems interesting. Is that the sort of way you just thought about it? It's like it's like you look at it and think, I can do that. I'm sure I can really do that. I can do that. Make a video easy as that, and it's like, yeah, something like that. Because with me, it was different. It was. I don't know if you can add more to that. I don't know. I think with me, I made videos in 2016, but on Facebook. Funny enough, back when I was using Facebook, I came on Facebook in 2014. I did, and one of the things, what was it? At first, I didn't know what my topics would be, but I've been collecting films seriously for a few years, so that would have been sort of a spark. It's like, I can actually just like build a channel around this, like make a few videos about what I'm doing, what I've been collecting recently. A lot of people have done that. They have, yeah. So it's a similar formula, really. It's like, it's a formula that's been done beforehand. It's, everyone, it's done before, and also it's been done since, of course. So yes, that's interesting. I think with me, because I started movie reviews, my channel, that series that I first started off when I first did the channel, of course, that was the first sort of things I've been doing. It originated from Facebook originally, that did, movie reviews, because how it came to be was I had iMovie on my tablet. I think I had Apple Air 2, I think it was at the time, and I was testing out iMovie, really, and I format. What can I do with this actually? It looks interesting, editing software, whatever. I can record a voiceover, can I? And what I did was I did a review of the 51st State from 2001, and that was just a test to see what it was like, really. So I did that. I did a little slight. I had a few photos here and there. Recorded voiceover and uploaded to Facebook. I did, and since from then I did, I think in total 50 videos. I did about 50 videos. I did about the main series. I think I did 20. I did like 20 episodes from the first series, 20 episodes on the second, and in between I did a little horror series. I did of 10, like a little short spin-off series. I did, and that was throughout 2016. That was most of the films I actually cover in my reviews are obviously DPM. So my stuff has evolved around in 2018 after being a member of a small community, which mostly gaming, but it is a lot of different things. Yeah, so you started gaming first, actually. Okay, so like everyone else, mostly gaming. So started around there first. That's interesting. Yeah, I remember. Yeah, because obviously you still gaming anyway. So, that's all. Those little horrible little rubbish games you tend to play. You think, they're a bit shit, really. Depends on graphics and what. And you used to. I remember finding about like discover maybe after was it 2017, 2018? I think if you started content. I looked at your channel. I remember you did. You started in 2016. Ah, okay. So I started in 2017. That is so. That's all right. Because I remember you did your Zippy and George videos. You did, with the puppets and everything else. They were good. I have to admit, and obviously collecting as well. Everything else, I never actually done stuff like that before. I do puppetry, stuff, like puppet sketches stuff. That'd be, but who knows? Would be interesting. I won't actually do it anyway, but I think since then I've been collaborating with a few people anyway in terms of sketch comedies anyway. I just end up in that weird little community apparently, strangely. So I don't know. I don't know how it's happened. I think people like my stuff really, and sort of bring me in stuff. I don't know. I'm not too sure. Unless I'm introduced to people, I don't know. And then I meet up with people, and then we end up working together. I don't know. It's weird like that. Interestingly, but I do remember I had some interesting early successes anyway with reviews anyway. I did. What did I do? Because remember, I was quite surprised that something like a movie review of like The Road to Wellville, that got high views. That did. To me, having like a video that was like probably like having 1,000 views, it's like, wait, what? People like that? It's like people like my early, rough and ready, tacky approach to what I've been doing in 2017. Obviously, since then it's been refined, really. Because it's half baked, that is the stuff I did in 2017, but it's still good. 2016 to early 2018 Deviant Film Blog is really different from late 2018 to present Deviant Film Blog. Okay. That's sort of the same thing with me, of course. Like, my early stuff is, I would say it's choppy and half-assed and a bit rubbish. I do think it's a bit rubbish, really, but I don't mind. I mean, I tried changing formats differently now and again, really. I think 2018 as well. I mean, I tried different stuff. I did. Obviously, after series 6, I did, because I did most of the stuff. I sort of reused a lot of stuff I did on Facebook. I did, like the films I reviewed, and try and use them, of course. I think after series 6, I tried to do something different, of course. Make a say, rather than review movies, I did a little Left Turn. I did, of course, and Path of Nostalgia came along. That actually came around when I was doing reviews on Facebook. Actually, it sounds a similar idea. I couldn't do it on Facebook because would it be embarrassing? People would question, like, what? People taking a different offence at that. I'd probably end up being lynched or something if I did that or something, or maybe. From around 2017, 2018, I was kind of had a slump because I was pre-doing much collection videos. I was stuck around the 20 subscriber mark. Yeah, I'm not too sure how long. I've probably been saying thing, of course, around 26. That time. Then I got involved with the community. I had expanded. Yeah, I think my channel's blown up quite a bit as well. Actually, I think from last year because I've done also. I think with the nostalgia stuff, of course, with Path Nostalgia, that's all give you a bit of a boost. That did really. I think I've come across you from Path Nostalgia, really. So I think everyone has really. It's like they come across my work. That series, Christ, it's finished now anyway. So it's done and dusted. It's gone now. Recently, ended a few weeks ago. I think last week. A few weeks ago. That's gone now. I won't be doing any more. That only came for a short bit actually, but that's gone now forever. Really, I thought you came across my through me reviews or something. I don't know, but there we go. It's like when I came across Bassman 93, Baz Aaron Taylor, very much, who I've now joined this community with the Wind and the Willows now. Of course, it's funny actually looking at that group now. It's expanded gratefully, but it's filled with people who worked at Crosscut Hall as well, like ex-cameramen, animators. We've become this weird community now. It's like we've mingled with people from the television industry now. It's strange. It's like, it's a weird community now. Yeah, you get obvious people like me, Aaron, and many other people, of course, but you got the people who actually worked behind the scenes of Crosscut Hall, like on stop motion animation throughout various decades and stuff. And it's strange. It's like mixing with royalty. It is. It's weird. Nice people as well, because we're a lovely community we are, so we always get on well with each other. People like Richard Haynes, who's an animator, Joe Dubensky, who was an animator first in the 70s when he did stuff like Noddy and Chilton and the Wheelies, I think, and he became a cameraman straight afterwards throughout the whole throughout his tenure, really. And who else? I don't know, actually. Maybe a few more animators, maybe a few people who work in the costume department as well. I subscribe to Richard Haynes, yeah. He's fantastic, he is. He's really good, he is. Very good. Very, he means well. He's passionate about the show, what Wind of the Willows is, really. And that's all got me thinking, really, because when was he doing it? 2019, so a couple of years ago he was doing it. He's been on YouTube for a long time, actually, but it's when he did the commentaries for the Wind of the Willows he became more prominent, I would say, because his recognition just shot up, it did. And obviously everyone supported him and everything else. From the Wind of the Willows VHS, his stuff is really fascinating. VHS video, his stuff is really fascinating, yeah. I think his commentaries where he talks about everything else, like he sort of goes into detail and everything else, like his commentary on these episodes, really, it works, and that's all. It's interesting. It's like someone who's a massive fan, but also worked at Crosscut Hall as well. It's like giving a little bit of inside stuff, of how they used to work. How it was different back in the 80s till in the 2000s when he was working. And obviously these same techniques. All these lolly sticks from opening mouths and whatnot. They use, I guess, what you call like little tags and whatnot, of course, when they were sort of doing the shots and everything else, doing the shots. Fascinating stuff. He's a lovely guy, very down to earth fella. He is. Never met in person, but he means well. He does. Very charming as well. That sort of thing. Really. Obviously, I think he's just taking a break now because he's writing a book. He is. Obviously, talk about the animation Wind of the Willows, of course. He's been commissioned. He has. So he's been absent for a little bit, of course, but he's still going on. He's still active on Facebook still, anyway. But that sort of thing. But it's a good community. It is. It's very, I think on Facebook communities I'm in, they're actually really good. I'm on one with the Doctor and Spending Media with the novels, like Virgin New Adventures, EDAs, whatever. They're a nice community as well. Actually, they're really much good. I've noticed, and they keep private messaging me stuff like involving, like, have you seen this collection of short stories coming from recently? Some guy called Darren Turner messaged me and showed me a book called Brief Encounters that Virgin published in live form. It was like anthology or something like that. And I thought, no, I've never heard that. I've never seen that before. Christ, But so I'll give a bit of backstory about it, actually. And then meanwhile, they do sort of people like that. Like they're Doctor Who fans as well, but we're sort of the nice, safer community. We're not toxic or anything, so that's one good thing. We talk about stuff from the 90s and stuff. What Doctor Who media was like in the 1990s. We were like that, really. You know, that sort of thing. And we're passionate about what we are, that sort of thing. But also, we mean well. We sort of, you know, that's very good and that's fantastic. We sort of like, there's no angry comments or anything else. You know, like shouting people like they're a bunch like a fat bastard or something. You know, oh, you like fucking Chibnall, don't you? You know, like you like, I bet you bank off to Whitaker at night, don't you? Or anything like that. It's like, give over, you know. Mind you, there's a funny thing from Jeffrey Kitch's bloody live stream. There's a funny thing. Someone did ask about Doctor Who to, well, his real name is Norrie Bunchmatter, Butchaza. I don't know his last. It's a weird name. It's got his real name's Norrie. Jeffrey Kitch's stage name, whatever. You got Peter and George, and they were talking about Doctor Who. Of course, they fell out. They all knew about the 2005 revival. Well, this whole fizzled thing. It's not really. And there's a funny thing that his mate George said, who was sort of musician with the piercing, very beard and stuff, and the piercing in his chin, whatever, tattoos and whatnot. He said something about, you know, like, you know, something with Tumblr. It's like, you know, all right, something a bit like Stephen Moffat blanking himself in a lawnmower or something. The community I'm part of, sometimes we butt heads on rare occasions, but we get on perfectly well. That's good. That's the main thing, of course, you know. Obviously, Twitter's a cesspool of hate. I've seen it. I still do. And it's, you know, you see people like, how can this person be so rude or anything else? Like, you know, matey boy, go fuck off. You can just hang yourself or something like that. You know, like, because you know, you're harassing people, you're harassing, you know, people, you know, these people, you know, you're calling out these people, of course, you probably think that, you know, saying, you know, like, you know, oh, what can I say? You know, if you like the children, you're a bunch of pufters or something like that. You know, I mean, it can be bloody shocking and serious. It can be, and then, you know, I don't use Twitter. I don't really tend to go. I never really go. I don't go on Twitter as much, really. I just tend to see like what people have put on. There might be some interesting posts that people like with YouTubers. They post some stuff on, like, you know, there's this project coming on soon. Be sure to check it out. You know, be sure to be there for the premiere on, you know, Friday 6 p.m. Don't want to miss it. That sort of thing. It's like the stuff with the review of Death, Dominic G. Martin, and a few other people as well. You know, showcasing their love and appreciation, and also advertising stuff they've been working on for the past couple of months or something. So I don't tend to bother it as much. Instagram I'm usually on a lot, really, because I tend to post stuff on Instagram constantly. I do, you know, well, not really, not most time, like stuff like vinyl, my nights out with the lads, of course, my partying style. The main spot we use is Discord. I never use Discord. I don't really see the point of Discord, really. I don't know why, really. It's just like, you know, it's like a forum, isn't it? You know, Discord's a bit like a forum, isn't it? Probably. I mean, not really. I don't know what people do in Discord, actually. So probably, I don't know. Don't know if I ever do. Not too, probably not really. And have you on doing at the moment with the whole YouTube stuff anyway, and also doing the live stream, so that's pretty fine at the moment. Who knows? So cloudy outside, I noticed. Oh, clouds are coming in. I don't really. It's more like an advanced Facebook Messenger. Okay. But it's like do topics with, like, you select a topic and people like chip in and think, you know, it's like, well, that'd be interesting. So it's like it's a group chat thing, really, that you tend to get. It's like you sort of get that anyway with Snapchat, whatever, and bloody Instagram, Facebook Messenger, of course. I would say Snapchat's more the obscene one. It's very all over the place, you know, because I use it with the lads anyway. People I have known for many years. You know, that can be filled with all sorts. That can be. I think Facebook, definitely. I can remember back in the day always see bloody memes. Well, actually, they used to make their own memes, of course. The face. If you look at this man's face, you probably say virgin or something. He'll probably be a virgin. I don't know. Some weird stuff. And GIFs. Do you remember? Oh yeah, it's a good chat. Do you remember using GIFs a lot? That was a thing. That was definitely a thing back on Facebook messages. Like all those things. It's like are we going to pub tonight, lads? Absolutely. No, I can't make it. And someone probably put a GIF at like someone trying to drag someone across the ground or something, something like that. That's sort of the funny language. Also, I think we did one time. They were talking to some. We were chatting, and I think someone was in the office. I think someone was working in the office or something, and we started putting rude, crude GIFs on, like involving women fondling their tits or something. I don't know. I think some of my mates actually found some ones involved naked ladies or something, like nudist porn ones, I think. Whereas I found one involving like a big fat woman, dropping her tits on a car and say, do you want me, daddy? Yeah, that sort of thing. And it's like, and it said, please don't stop, people. I'm having a conference in a minute. It's like, it's funny. It's absolute. It was, yeah. It's hilarious sometimes. Depends if you can actually. I think you can do GIFs on Snapchat. I don't know. Yeah, sometimes I will usually brief video clip we find funny. Yeah, that is true. Usually it's just pictures sometimes of like us being completely stupid. There are some pictures like one of my mates who is hugging a bush. There's another one. I think there's two more of him actually. Was doing shots, of course, and he's singing a Blee pop song. I forgot what it's called now. Me behind. Oh, is it? Me by you. I don't know what I can't. It's like it's a pop song. But every time we touch, I think that's it. I think something like that. That's the only song I remember the song. Every time we touch. Yeah, he was singing that. He was drunk, really. There's a picture of me. There's an image of me actually that they took of me lying on the road at night somewhere. That's one. Me and stuff in a Jesus pose. I don't know why. What else? Some old selfies, very much like people look like budgie hipsters, like just doing weird faces, like it's like that really, like a couple of minutes, like what the fuck are you doing, lad? With someone like with some big quips and whatnot. I did one for a bit for the trip. Was it from the trailer to Christmas Eve of the guy in the Santa suit punching a guy? That's actually pretty good. That's interesting. I don't think I ever made one myself, actually. No, I just use the ones that I found, think of quite funny, actually. Indeed. Although you can probably find some if you can. Because I used to remember Google used to do bloody you type up like something, of course, and you always see like those little sections, like maps, images, videos, GIFs was on there as well. It's like if you type on like a film you want, you probably see a GIF. It probably involves something like a sexy or something like that. On like someone's like let's have a GIF of a couple humping together. I don't know, or just just constantly humping or doing the 69 cowgirl reverse cowgirl or something. Who knows? They always used to do that. I don't know if they're still doing that now with Google. I don't know, unless they got rid of it. But I remember a lot. I remember, you just type out something. Next thing you know, there's bleed. You think I don't want images, and you click on just by accident. It's like, oh wait, what? It's just one of those things, really. Just a strange thing. Indeed. Okay. Oh, there you see. Oh. Just this one as well. What we got? Washina. German beer, quality from Germany. That was Tigers. That's from Singapore. That's Asian lager. This is German lager, German beer. Nice. GIFs are now in images. They are. Yeah, I've noticed actually. But yeah, they just mingle them together, don't they? Indeed. But I think for a couple of years ago they used to do that. They used to make GIFs separate. They did, obviously. You know, like next images, get GIFs. You get videos, maps, or whatever, or shopping or whatever. It used to be part of there actually. Obviously, they sort of removed it now, didn't they? That's fine with it. Mm-hmm. It's not funny. That stopped. Good, that stopped now. For some strange reason, that blue foam side coming out. Google is their never-ending quest to remove features. There seems to be, yeah, I've noticed, really. In terms, I think, obviously it's adapting a lot more and everything else, but I think they go through different phases, I think. With Google, they go through different lot of stuff they do, really. In terms of management, I probably think it is, really. Yeah. I've got a question, really. Judge on someone else, maybe go away from Google for a bit. What type of beer do you drink anyway? I'm just wondering to know. You know, stuff like this. Any particular lagers or beers do you tend to go for, really? Usually I just go for all sorts, really. Depends, really, you know. Especially like on special offers or something. But what do you tend to go for? Really? You know, Westina, that's pretty decent. I mean, was there a particular country do you think produces the best beer or something? I'm just interested to know, actually. Obviously, being a sort of age now to actually, you know, sit back. Got a nice cold bottle of whatever, getting cheap, really, I've noticed. I think it's a nice, you know, when you drink. Fair enough. You know, you have that, yeah, the occasional drinks at parties or anything else. That's totally fine, really. I'll tell you what, stuff like this, probably get some like 4 bottles of these, you can probably get £3 about per master, four for £3 on mixtures of beers. Strange, you know. You can get plenty drunk for about just a couple of quid. You know, you do for a master. It's strange. It's funny. It's actually funny as well. Well, plus you get like a decent selection of beers, like Asian beers, German beers, Spanish beers, whatever. It's actually nice. I do like Lidl's Woodgate pear cider. I tried Woodgate pear cider. I've tried Aldi's Taurus pear cider. That is fantastic. That is strong as hell, but it's lovely. I love that cider. Aldi's Taurus. It is pear cider. Get pear cider. Fantastic from there. What else I like? I think I just drink random beers, really. In terms of ciders, I love Thatcher's and I love Magnus. Magnus is fantastic. Thatcher's, I like the different flavours it tends to get, actually, because you get, I think recently I tried some dry, what's it called? Like with a goblin on the front on the can. Falls a bit weird. I found them B&M I did, but it's nice, actually. I never drink dry cider, really. It's always normal sweet cider. Cloudy cider is quite nice as well, actually. Thatcher's Haze is lovely. Rosé wine, rosé cider, that's nice as well, actually. Thatcher's is the best because that's addictive as hell. That's addictive stuff. You know, once you have one, you probably never stop. I found out the hard way when I first tried it out. It's like, fucking hell, that's pretty good. I'll make for another can, actually. Makes you drink very easy because of how sweet it is. Christ. And funny enough, they do lemon cider as well. Thatcher's do a lemon one, and that's nice as well. That's like just like a refreshing lemon drink, like an alcoholic lemonade or something. That's lovely, that is. I used to remember Foster's did some stuff called Foster's Rocks. Was it lager with rum flavouring in? They only did 2. They discontinued whenever, actually. I don't know when it was. 2015, 2016 they did, I think. They only did 2. Spiced rum and classic rum. I really should try more ciders. So the Woodgate's Pesto is your go-to cider. This is the one you always go for, really. You know, so people always go for Strongbow. Strongbow, it's all right. I don't really mind it, but it can be a bit sickly sometimes in some places. Usually I prefer the Old English ones, of course. So Thatchers and Magnas are your best call. They're the best ones to go for. You know, those are the sort of British ideal ones. Perfect for a hot day, if you're sitting on your garden for a bit, in the sun, or at night time, very much with some blowing heat. Get something like that, of course. Nice and fruity, lovely. You know, very strong it is. Yeah. Well, Magnus is sort of these in a way. Thatchers is sort of a little bit lighter, but has a good, strong, crisp taste to it. Love it. That's nice. What else going on? I can't say about ale. Ale, I'm not keen on. I used to be big on Indian Pale Ale, IPA, Indian Pale Ale. Used to be big on that. Stuff like Green King and I had Hobgoblin a few times. Ruby beers. That was nice at the time. And Banks, I think it's known Banks. I think it is. And Christ, I don't know. But Green King, I enjoyed it quite a bit. I did. Green King was nice. Not really. When I go to Lidl, and I feel like it. Fair enough. That's all right. You know, I just feel like if you're tempted, that's fine. You know, don't blame you. It's all right. I was looking at something actually. I was with my mother shopping actually just today actually with Sainsbury's. Looking, you know, she was looking for Lucozade. She was trying to find the Caribbean Crush one. Found one at the back of the shelves, of course. And I was looking at all this stuff like, you just go for something like tropical, don't you? Because apparently they brought back the bloody Lucozade, the tropical flavour version of Lucozade actually, but it's all zero sugar now. It's like, to my surprise, it's like, wait, what? It's like, I haven't seen tropical for freaking decades now. It's like, you know, that was a fantastic. Back in the day, it was fantastic. It was one of the best flavors I've ever tried. Lucozade did a lot of good flavors. Well, Lucozade before the sugar tax and everything else was king. Lucozade was king at the time. You know, original, crisp and delicious, fucking fantastic. I never, you know, brilliant. Orange was great. They did lemon. Lemon was fantastic. That was, I mean, the sort of main three they sold it. Do you know what? With orange and lemon, brilliant. You know, used to get. Strangely enough, I used to get my Lucozade from a pharmacy. I did back in the day, you know, like small tiny pharmacy back in the day. I didn't get it from supermarkets. I get it from like little balls from little fridge in a pharmacy. Funny enough, it's always one of those things. You know, I always remember them fondly. You know, like if you're ill with cold or flu as a kid, buy Lucozade. They'll saw you out for a bit. You know, they'll ease your nerves a bit, really. Anyway, but you know, always the original one. Always get the original one. It was fantastic. Orange was, you know, orange now and again. Really depends if what was available. Lemon. They sort of discontinued lemon for a long time. They did. I love lemon. Brilliant. I remember they did tropical as well. They brought tropical back, which is recently, but it's the zero sugar. It's different, really, but the original tropical was fantastic. It was lovely. It was. What else was there? One thing. What else? I never really drank Lucozade. A lot of people don't really. It depends. You know, it's not really a good turn on, but I only drank it because it was for cold and flu, really. Like as a medicinal thing, really. As a kid, as a long time, you know, as a kid, but obviously you sort of adapt to it. And you think, you know, that's a really good, nice drink. But in the beginning, when I first had it, it was just for medicinal purposes, really. You know, just to keep your immune system all right as a young child, you know, growing up in the 90s, 2000s, whatever, that sort of thing. But they did various flavours. There's some fantastic unknown ones. There were some brilliant ones. There was. Christ. I mean, the ones in those four I mentioned. There was another one I remember, which was called Wild Berry. I only had it once in a garden centre once. Fucking fantastic. Bloody good. I think it might be only there briefly for a year or two. I don't know, but you never see that anymore. Christ. And that was fantastic. Mulberry, my God, that was lovely. Went into cherry. Oh, fantastic. Apple was good as well. Fantastic. Still do apple now. but brilliant. Blackcurrant was shit. That was horrible. That was, oh god. I think that was the worst Lucas I ever drank. Had a nice, I think it was like a little nice bit of that, and I drank it. I nearly gagged. It was horrible because it tastes like bloody horrible. It just tastes like Ribena, but with Ribena mixed with glucose. Ugh, that was horrible. I couldn't stand that drink. Ugh, that version. There was another one that I couldn't actually attempt to drink, weirdly, because I was on a cola Coke ban, which was the cola flavored one, and that was limited. I think that was wild for a bit. I think I tried it before. I think maybe. Yeah, I'm not keen on blackcurrant. Yeah, it was horrible. It was. When I just tried it, it was like something doesn't fucking feel right. That's drink. I'm surprised they don't. I'm glad they don't sell that. I think a lot of people sort of agree with that. They probably drink that. It's like, God. There are some good ones they did back in the day. I mean, some of the recent stuff they still sell, actually, like strawberry watermelon. That's nice. That warm and cooler. That's nice. They did a melon one, I remember. That was good. Like an actual sweet melon one. That was lovely. Pink lemonade was one. They're still doing pink lemonade, but when it was pre-sugar tax, fantastic it was. Christ. They did all sorts. I'm one of 5 people on earth who hates Ribena. It's interesting actually because I drank Ribena maybe this year, I think, because I used to drink it. I drank it a long time ago, very long time ago. It was decades since I hadn't something like that before, really. You know, Ribena is an acquired taste, I would say. Obviously, they're doing sparkling now, which is weird. I saw in a petrol station just today, really, like, wait, what? They're selling sparkling, make it sparkling now. That's not going to work, is it? Sparkling water, no. That's going to take me flashbacks to, I believe, Black and Lucas. I'd rather not go. So I'd rather not touch that stuff, sparkling stuff. Oh god, no. Rather not. It's going to be one of those things, really. I just saw. I think it's blackcurrant and raspberry they do as well. I think. Well, I'll tell you what. Vimto hasn't changed at all. Vimto was fantastic. It's had a bowl just today. I think about like in the afternoon, I think. But it was lovely. It was fantastic. They actually do. It was like H2O. Vimto H2O. Tastes the same. Actually tastes the same. It does. It's just water. It just tastes the same. It's weird. It's strange, but it works. There are some other variations as well of Vimto as well, which don't do well, really. I mean, there's one with raspberry and bloody pineapple. Or was it orange? I don't know. I had it recently. It was very sweet as fuck. It was. You know. I mean, I did a cocktail recently actually involving vodka. Live Vimto is brilliant. Oh yes. You know, Simply Original, fizzy, lovely. I do have some diluted Vimto in the cupboard, and I made it into a cocktail mixed with Schweppes lemonade and Copperberg lemon vodka. I call it liquid sherbet because it's sweet as fuck. It is. Christ, you know. Rather than add water, I mixed diluted squash Vimto with Schweppes lemonade, normal lemonade, not the non-sugar stuff. God no. Mix that together with some vodka, and it's sweet. It's sweetness overload. It is. It's bloody. You know, it knocks you out. It does. Original all the way. Yes, fantastic. Yeah, it's good. I used to remember when I came across Vimto. I remember I used to go to his place, old swimming place. It used to be this old swimming pool next to a secondary school, where most of my family, my dad's side of the family, used to go quite a lot. I always went for a swimming. I always wanted a can of Vimto. I don't know why, but Vimto was bloody good. It was get out of the machine. There was no can. Fantastic it was. You know, I think that's maybe before Coke. I don't know if in terms of maybe. I think I had that in maybe Luke's Vimto and Sprite. I would say, or 7-Up. One of them. Those are the early ones, really. And maybe Tango as well. Christ. You know. I think I tried Tango a few times. It's still got its charm, it does. Tango still has its charm, it does. It's still got that punchy orangeness to it. That's lovely. Again, love Tango's brilliant. 7-Up. I haven't tried 7-Up for a long time, actually. That's been a long. It's been ages since I had a decent can of 7-Up. 7-Up was fantastic. That was another one, actually. Sprite. I have to admit, Sprite was. It's gone downhill, actually, I've noticed. It hasn't got such as punch it used to have. You know, maybe when it was originally was, you know, maybe I don't know. I don't know if it's always been tasted like that sort of thing. It's always been like that. I don't know. It's just a weird thing, really. I don't know, but 7-Up it's still got a punch. It's like a punch to the jaw. That's still got that taste. It still got that taste, really. Same with Tango, same with Vimto, same with Luxe, really. Oh, well, not really. No, Luxe, no, it's diluted. It's sort of gone now. But Vimto, Tango, and 7-Up probably still have that. You know, that sort of trinity. That still has its punch, really. I have to admit. Do you remember Panda Pops? Panda Pops were, you know, little tiny bottles. You know, all sorts. You know, you probably get like some cola, orangeade, blue raspberry. I think blue raspberry was another one. I think but Panda Pops, Christ, they were good. You know, I don't know if they're still selling them in a local chip shop. I used to get them from a local chip shop around here. Christ, you know, I don't know if they still sell them. I don't know. I used to get them quite a lot. They were fantastic, man. I think I ended up seeing them one time for a lot more as a kid. This was in November. I remember I was. What was it? I was doing Children in Need, I think, many years ago. I was up for most of the night. I was a kid, drinking Panda Pops as well for most of the time. Actually, I do remember one scene. I remember one bit out of that little clip, and they were showcasing. I think it was Terry Wogan. They were showcasing this costume pageant on Children in Need. People dressed in sci-fi and whatever, and you know, there was Sci-Fi Revelation. Actually, I remember because there was a couple of people dressed in stormtrooper outfits. You know, you started stormtrooper, one from Empire Strikes Back and one from Return of the Jedi. One used the speed assault, I think. They were showcasing that. And there was one guy as Davros and two Daleks as well. I think there was the bronze Daleks as well, I think. I don't know if Davros' chair was bronze. I don't know, in that costume. I don't know. I really don't know. That's what I remember from it. And drinking Panda Pops that night, many years ago. It was a long time ago. Christ, but I still remember that. That's still one of these sort of interesting early memories of Children in Need I remember back in the day. Christ. It was something. So it might be 2005? 2006? I think. I don't know. To be honest, 7-Up has gone downhill. It tastes bland and there's some weird sort of aftertaste to it. Oh, really? Oh. I never knew that, actually. Because I always remember it was always really, again, sugar tax, that might have been the thing, really. But I remember when I had 7-Up many years ago. Just, you know, again, that sort of stuff was brilliant, you know. I used to go to a seaside town and there was an indoor market. I used to get cans for something like, you know, four for about £1 or something? Yeah, cheap stuff, you know, like that sort of thing. You get your Vimto, you get your Pepsi, you get your bloody 7-Up, you do. And bloody juicy fruit gum as well. Wrigley's juicy tutti frutti. What was it? What do you call it? It's a tutti frutti. So I don't know what you call it. It was a yellow pack. Get those a lot. You did. Christ. I think it might be sugar. It must be the sugar task because you know I think all the stuff's been Sprite's heavily affected. Luxate's heavily affected deeply. Same with 7-Up, I would say. Vimto, no. Vimto's its same old self. It is. Tango's still the same, and most of the stuff like Coke and Pepsi has still unscathed really on that one. What else? I don't know about Ribena. I'm not too sure about Ribena. Fanta. I'm not too sure about Fanta. Fanta might be the same thing. Might be alright. I don't know. It could be. I'm not too sure really. Who knows? We'll see. It's hard to think sometimes with that sort of thing. Some things are really different after sugar tax, but some are ruined. Yeah, I can tell. I wish that was never introduced. Also, I think it might be cheap ingredients as well. That could be a thing. That could be true. That could be true. You know, with budget and budget slash and whatnot. Yeah, it could be. Going down stuff, trying different stuff out. Who knows? It could lead to all possibilities that will. It's like when they introduced new Coke. Why, you know, is that ever going to set off, you know, or anything else? They always do some weird stuff, don't they? I remember, you know, I do remember some variations. Do you remember Coca-Cola Life? Do you remember that one? That's sort of meant to be like that sort of low-calorie version of it. I didn't mind that, but it didn't get on well with all people really. I remember I was with a group of people, like college art students at the time. Not studying art or anything else. I was just there in town with a few of them, and we were just searching for Coca-Cola Life just to see what it was like. It was like finding the bloody Holy Grail or something. Our new Coke, infamous disaster. I've never tried new Coke, so I can't really tell that one. I'll tell you about Coca-Cola Life for you though. That was like trying to find the bloody Holy Grail. That was, you know, me and a lot of other teenagers trying to find that. It's like, you know, we must see what this is like. This new variant, this new Coke. Green Coke, what's it going to be like? What is it? It's like, you know, and we searched for a good portion of the town, of the hometown, where it is. Like, you go to like Home Bargains, stuff like, you know, Tesco, Extra, whatever, didn't sell it. Yeah, I kind of like it, but I just pretty quickly. Yes, I didn't mind it too. I mean, I looked at it, thought, that's not too bad. It's like, you know, but it sort of went away, didn't it? New Coke was only in the market in June 1985. Okay, so we went around to experience it, you know. Yeah, strange. I noticed they bring back some stuff, don't they? Like Crystal Pepsi was brought back recently briefly in the States, and Pepsi Blue as well. I think that's like a blueberry flavoured version of Pepsi, I think. I remember Pepsi Lemon one time. That was, yeah, Pepsi the lemon version, I think. That was nice. Only had once from a, let me think, like some pound store in a market hall, I think, years ago. Didn't get it from there. That was nice. I can't remember much about the taste. It'd probably be like a strong Pepsi with lemon mixed in with it. But that was nice. Says the person who probably hasn't had it for a long time. It's been discontinued since whenever, you know. But I didn't, you know. Same with what was it? Pepsi Raw. Pepsi Raw. That was a one that sort of lingered around for a bit, but left afterwards. You know, what was it? They used cane sugar instead, didn't they? You know, Pepsi with cane sugar. If I remember. And I think that was like notorious, that was at the time. But I remember enjoying it. I really like Pepsi. I enjoy Pepsi Raw, but you can't really get it anymore. You know, according to Wikipedia, Coca-Cola Life was launched in 2013, discontinued in Europe and Canada in 2019, and the rest of the world in 2020. Really? I don't know about Wikipedia really, but I think 2013 I was 16, so I probably knew about that. Obviously, you know, I was in college at that point. Well, was that? I think, well, yeah, maybe actually. Or was I working that day doing a sad job? I don't know. It might be maybe start like summer before college, I think. I thought Coca-Cola Life was discontinued years before. Yeah, I thought so too, because I was thought it lasted maybe a few years or so, maybe 2 or 3 years. But mind you, it probably discontinued here first. I'd probably say it may be only lasted a few couple of years here, I think. But it probably discontinued. Like you mentioned before, maybe most of Europe, except the UK, still kept it, along with that sort of thing, and Canada as well. You know, but I think we probably didn't accept it as much as we did, so we decided no more. Maybe so, maybe like 2015, I'd probably say. I think Canada's life doing. I probably something like that. You know, maybe 1 or 2 years, maybe just a year. Probably it was big and all around. But afterwards, you never see it again. Really. I wonder if they got some on eBay. I don't know. People are probably selling it on Amazon or something like that, some weird drinks website. You probably get it from, like bloody like Desani or something. Who knows? See how it is. It'll probably be horrible, you know, judging by how long it's probably kept for. You know, unless someone's frozen, probably defrosting the fridge or something like they do with bread. I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, but I didn't mind that actually. But I think it's just never gone with people really. Pepsi Raw was another one I remember. I think that was around for a bit, but that got discontinued. I think probably Pepsi Raw. Yeah. Oh, you get in those little thin little cans, don't you? Sort of like in sort of Red Bull cans, or you know, you tend to see these days. It's like a bloody that Coca-Cola energy drink you get sometimes. To be fair, I don't mind them actually. I've had them a few times really. And the original standard one's nice. Cherry, ooh, not the best one, I have to admit. I've scrolled down. It came out in UK in 2014, but just in 2017 because of declined sales and the sugar tax. Okay. Oh yeah, because so that was when 2014. Yes, I probably because I was in college at that point. Yeah, so yeah. Oh yeah, that's true. I must have had in 2014, 25-ish, yeah. I probably had mine in 2014 anyway. Again, trying to find a bloody bottle was hard enough, really, around my neck of the woods. You know, you had to search different stores and everything else. Is like finding bloody holy grail at that point. It was. It's like, you know, trying, you know, have a good, you know, spend a couple of hours going around town looking for it. And like, did you get it? No, don't sell it. Yeah, fuck. It's like, you know, try and find the shop. We'll go in there. Do the same. No, bloody. We did found it in a newly opened sweet shop, like independent sweet shop, and they were selling it there. It's like finally, I think we got 2 bowls or something. It's like, you know, finally, and there was actually a moment like we just stuck it here. It's like finally, yes, and we drank it. It's like, yeah, it's not too bad, you know. It's like, you know, all the excitement just went drift away. It did. It's like, who knows? But that was a good time. It was. I think it was me, a mate of mine who now serves in the Navy, and a couple of art students who probably do graphic design. I think we were just going. We was like just searching. We were scouting for this whole thing. It's like, you know, we finally found it. It's like probably not the best. Well, there's that. At least we know what it tastes like. What we expect from it. You know. Yeah. Did I think Pepsi Raw came earlier? I think as well. What I can recall. And that one, I think, the only thing I remember about it was it was sort of notorious, and also it featured cane sugar instead of normal sugar. You know, so it was a different thing, of course. Maybe going for a bit of an interesting organic type flavour. I don't know. But it tastes different. It did. It tastes a bit differently, I would say. It did. So I would say. Off we go. Yeah. Desani, a very interesting story that was of its UK launch because it's filtered tap water and came through a contaminated supply. Only some in the UK doing 2004, and Tom Scott did a great video. Later did a taste test. I've seen those, yeah. I've seen that, yeah. I've seen his video of Dasani, yeah. I've seen both of those videos, yeah. Christ. Interesting stuff. Just filtered tap water, Christ. You can tell that's a pure con. That's a pure con thing, that is. Christ. You know, I'm quite happy I didn't try that stuff, thankfully. I've probably seen a couple of balls, maybe. I might have seen a couple of balls in stores, but I never touched a thing. I never touched up like the Dasani thing anyway, so that's a good thing. Thankfully. That's a good thing. It was that, it's usually like Buxton and Volvic, really, 10, for terms of water for us, really. Volvic, it's going back to different variations of drinks as well. Volvic did a bleed juice drink, they did, like pure red liquid stuff. I think that was to do, I think it was trying to cash in on the whole Lucozade craze or something at that time. I think, trying to make it like a medicinal drink, apparently. They did a red one, I think they did a yellow one as well, I think. It only lasted a year or two, I think, what I can remember. I forgot what it's called, Volvic Plus, and something like that, I don't really know. Let me have a look. Let me just be back on set. I'll try and get my phone and we'll search. Let me just have a look. Because I remember that years ago. I thought it was a really interesting flavour, but let me have a look. I was only around 3 to 4 years old when it came along, so I never had it. So I was basically a kid still. So I never had it either. I've probably seen in fridges very much, but I never touched a thing. So, what was that thing they did? I'm trying to think what the variation was. I'm trying to look for it. I don't know what you actually call the damn thing. I had it years ago. I had it a long time. I did. Christ. Come on, come on, come on. Why is it showing up? Right. Variations. It's really say on it, doesn't it? Let me have a quick look. Strange, actually. Back in the day. Not that. Christ, where have you gone? I definitely remember drinking a bowl of this stuff. Where's it gone? Don't think it's that. Gone. Strange. Not that one. Where is it? It's weird actually, because I always remember that drink. I always remember this type of Volvic drink, but I can't find. It's not showing up anywhere. Really. Christ Almighty. Because I'm pretty sure they did a yellow one, the yellow version as well, I think, but I can't remember what it's called. Volvic something. I really just don't know. Christ. It did taste weird. It tasted weird. Just looking now. I don't think that'll be it though. I don't think so. Actually, going back to Coca-Cola Life, I never thought about until now, because my family slowly stopped buying it, and it disappeared from shops with no real fanfare. That's true, yeah, because I've always looked at. I see a couple of shelves now and again of Coca-Cola Life, but I never really tend to buy it. Really, sometimes I do if I feel like it, but I never really did actually, unless I was banned from drinking it. I'm not too sure on that front, really. Speaking of which, actually, I can probably segue from Coca-Cola Life to the Pepsi Raw. Pepsi Raw, my God. Ooh. Oh my God. Where's it gone? I remember that. I think they're selling sold in cans most of the time, but I think, when was this introduced? 2008 it was introduced. So I remember that deep. I remember having it a few times it did. And this only lasted 2 years, this did. So apparently it says here, so Pepsi Roll is what was again called a soft drink created by PepsiCo and Britvic, exclusively introduced in the UK in 2008 as a sparkling cola drink with natural plant extracts. Pepsi Raw contained naturally sourced ingredients that are free from artificial flavourings, colourants, and preservatives and sweeteners. Advertising for Pepsi Raw presented the product as a natural alternative to other colas. Pepsi Raw was also marketed in Norway and Australia. In the United States and Mexico, it's a similar product. It was marketed under the name Pepsi Natural. In September 2010, it was announced that Pepsi Raw will be withdrawn from the UK market. I never had Pepsi Raw. I don't remember it. I was only 8 when it was launched. I've had it a couple of times. I did, and it was nice. It was decent. It was an interesting flavour to it, because this is what would have been included actually. So the ingredients for it, of course, so you get sparkling water, cane sugar was one, and apple extract as well. So that's probably the cane sugar and the apple just doing something completely different. And then you have your normal stuff like natural stuff like caffeine, the cola nut, it's that sort of thing really. So here we go. Oh, here we go. So Pepsi Raw was sold in the United Kingdom across the following outlets, which was Asda, Sainsbury's, Summerfield, Morrison's, Tesco's, All Bar One, Selfridges, Harvey Nichols, Waitrose, Boots, WH Smith's, and Superdrug. Probably that's where I got that from. Pepsi Raw Superdrug, maybe. I can't remember anything from Asda. Maybe Superdrug. I think I got it from Superdrug actually. Currently, I'm either Pepsi Max or Coke Zero. I would say Pepsi Max is the better one out of the two. I would say Pepsi Max is probably, it's got more stronger flavour to it. Yeah, but people like that because it's a decent flavour. There's a good taste to it. Coke Zero. I remember when it first came out. I was like, really? I'm trying to think, when did Coke Zero actually come out? I was interested in Coke Zero. As I remember, Coca-Cola with a black label on. In 2005 it came out, and it sort of redone itself in 2017. Okay, yeah. 2005 it came out, so yeah, I was interested. I think Pepsi Max, that might have been earlier. It's always with Pepsi sometimes that tends to be the early one, the early instigators for stuff. Pepsi Max, when did Pepsi Max come out? 1993. It's like Coca-Cola's playing catch up with Pepsi, I've noticed. Coke Zero is less shit. It's like less shit Diet Coke. Yeah, Diet Coke is alright actually. I do like Diet Coke. I do. I don't tend to have it sometimes as I used to. I always prefer a flavoured one. I do. I think I had one recently with lime in. Brilliant. Diet Coke with lime. Divine stuff. That is. I don't go for as much as I used to, but there we go. I'm always regular Coke. Really. That's just who I am. Really. I've got like a fridge full of both Pepsi and Coke anyway, so I tend to differ between the two. It depends what I feel like. It depends what's available in the shelves. Really. It's like or Coca-Cola. Well, there's not much Pepsi. I can go for a Coca-Cola. I have a couple of cans of Pepsi left in the fridge anyway, so yeah, that sort of thing. I wonder, well, funny, I've still got a Pepsi here anyway. Well, empty can still. Really. But I think I've got some Coca-Cola cans in the fridge still. Maybe one Pepsi can left. Who knows? Yeah. To be fair, I don't tend to taste the difference between regular diet and zero. I don't either really. I just tend to drink what I tend to drink really. You know, it's like I don't, you know, you don't do that. You don't do it like a test blindfold or something like that. You know, oh, I should really try this actually. It's like, you know, I wonder what I want to be interested like. You know, and you just probably taste it. Yeah, it's all right, really. I do. In terms of other colas, there was quite a few other ones I used to drink as well. There was some types of ones I used to remember back in the day. Billy Cola buns. Right, let's have a look. There were some good ones I actually don't mind. What have we got? Bar Cola obviously by Bar. Really, originating from Scotland. That's not too bad. That's cheap cola, really, but I don't mind that one. Oh my god. Wasn't it what I do remember? So was that one. Got Pepsi. That wasn't it. That's what it is. Bloody Pepsi Twist. That was what I was thinking of the day. That was what I had once. That was bloody it. Pepsi Twist. That was it. Aha! Sorry, no. That's why. So it was introduced in 2000 and then came back in 2001, so reducing again. But it discontinued in 2006. Aha. That's why I remember that. Yeah, I always remember a bloody lemon wine. I did. Oh, I see. Okay. In the United Kingdom and Netherlands and Belgium, Pepsi Twist was sold for a while. Then it was replaced by Pepsi Max Twist with lemon and lime, which I don't remember, of course. But since it sort of came back with Pepsi Max Cold Lemon under Pepsi Max. Okay, but I remember having Pepsi Twist. Remember that? So that's what it is. Christ. RC Cola. Bloody hell. Another one. Bloody RC Cola. Where was this? 1905. States. They sold this in Asda back in the day. They don't sell it anymore, strangely. I haven't had it for a year. A long time ago. Christ. You know, here in the UK, Asda just had sold this for a long time. I didn't mind that actually. It was all right. All right, Schweppes Duo Cola. I never tried Schweppes Cola. I never heard of that one. So it probably didn't do well. Bloody Virgin Cola. That's another one I tried. Bloody Richard Branson's own cola. Christ almighty. Oh my god. I used to remember getting balls from a bloody seaside, from a marketplace or whatever in the hot sun on a Sunday. Christ. Not bad. I have to say Virgin Cola was not bad, after a minute. That was one thing. Christ almighty. 94 it came out. Christ. Decline. When did it finish? Oh, good. I think the 2000s probably do. Oh. Oh, I see. Okay. So like by the late 2000s, it became available in limited locations. I think I'll just continue in the UK first. I think. Okay. And that is interesting because I've never had that. I've had that one time anyway. RC collar. Never see those anymore really. God, probably sell on eBay still. Yes. Right. Oh God, we're free. I just realised we're about three. It's like 3 hours long. Talk about 3 hours, haven't we? Right. I think we might have to finish up this the stream. Been talking to you long, haven't we, mate? Long time, but I think I might have to come to it. It was 11:30 now, so yeah. So I have to end this stream now, but I'll be back on Tuesday, which is good. Just to clarify with what happened yesterday, I was doing badminton, so I couldn't do the stream yesterday. So it's been moved, obviously, for tonight anyway. So there we go. So that's the reason why I didn't do on Tuesday. I was doing badminton with a couple of lads anyway. Yeah, but it was fun. Yeah, good long talk about stuff. Anyway, always, jobs, like soft drinks, whatever, and all sorts, Blu-rays, DVDs, and whatnot. And good night, sir. I wish you all the best. I'll see you on Tuesday night. Probably next week. Next week on Tuesday. It's coming back on Tuesday, so don't worry. See you later. Wish you all the best.